Hello, fellow players of PUBG Mobile on both Twitch and YouTube. Welcome your faces back, not to the group stage, not to the semi-finals, but today we'll be kicking off the grand finals of the European region for the Spring Split 2020 of PUBG Mobile Club Open. Myself, Maxman, will bring you through the action, joined of course by Imperium for all of this final split.
Oh man, 16 teams, it's all come down to this. 2 days and 8 games. We will find out who will be the 4 teams to qualify for the regional finals. Like, I'm nervous and I'm just casting the goddamn thing. I like, Lord knows how nervous, excited the teams are feeling. They've got this far. They've, you know, scratched and crawled their way to this point. Well, some teams have anyway. And now they're given this opportunity and they don't want to waste it.
I mean, it's an opportunity not only to get one of the 4 only slots to the European Regional Finals to play against teams from Turkey, CIS, like so many teams around this area, but also there's one slot where teams will be able to directly qualify for the World League West, which is an insane amount of cash prize you can also have a shot at. $5 million US. Most of it is going to be in that tournament. So this is a game changer for the team that arrives in #1 position at the end of this weekend.
Golden Nugget spot up for grabs. It's going to get really tough. Like when we look at both stages, we've seen teams kind of trade that top spot. Of course, there was always the fact that some teams had more games in hand over others throughout the group stage and the semi-finals. But even then, we did see some, you know, ups and downs for some teams. There's 2 or 3 that probably still stayed relatively consistent. But, man, it's anybody's. It is realistically anybody's game to win.
It is anybody's game, but what I propose is you take a little quick snippet of the teams that will be playing, the 16 teams, the best 16 teams in all of Europe so far for this spring split, and there you have it. Here are the list of teams that made it all, through the group stage, through the semi-finals that ended yesterday. We lost a lot of teams, but now we have la creme of the crop, and we're going to be finally knowing which will be the top 4 teams of Europe to move on to the next stage, Imperium.
Man, so let's talk about the teams that were... Let's start speculating, Max. You know, we were kind of mentioning a little bit before the broadcast of you know, we both have our... I'd like to think we have our personal favorites and our professional favorites. Like, for example, there's no denying that I absolutely love the guys from Red Reserve. Really, I love Red Reserve. You know, the owner, Kim, and I love the team. The guys are absolutely fantastic. That's my kind of personal favorite. But when I'm looking at professional favorite, like, it has to be between Cream, Hate, and Next. Has to be between those 3 teams. All of them have shown dominance, you know, in the relative times. Yeah, Next fell off a bit in the semis, but you can't take away from what they've done. And then Hate and Cream, they just evolved and grown and always stayed in those games, even when they've been down to 1 player. And so professionally, for me, it's got to be either Cream or Hate to take the #1 spot, along with Next behind.
Okay. I think that, like, I gotta follow suit a little bit. Like, Cream, like, my top 4 in no specific order would be Cream Esports, Hate Gaming, OVN, and also Next. That would be my top 4 personally, but we had so many comebacks throughout the group stage, throughout the semi-finals. We even call the comebacks being a PedjaDBoy. So PedjaDBoys, you know, that could be a team that could make a comeback. AK-47 dropping a 20 kill bomb in the group stage. Those are the type of games in only 8 games alone could have such a huge impact on their entire career, Imperium. So I'm really looking out for it. I'm also hoping today is going to be the day where Elevate wakes up. They need it. They know it. They haven't had the easiest way throughout this entire PMCO so far. So today, Elevate, if you want to just wake the hell up, today is your day.
Oh yeah, we all know that Elevate are not happy with the way they're being performed. That's, you know, if they're happy with the way they're being performing, they kind of don't deserve to be here. Not, you know, I don't mean that in a bad way, but you should never settle for what you've achieved. Be happy with it, but never settle. And I know that they're not going to be happy. They're not going to be you know, you're not going to settle for what they've done so far. They haven't won a game at all between the group stage and the semi-finals. And for a team that came in to this tournament, into this region, with kind of that high expectations.
I mean, they were one of the favorites, right?
That's a little bit disappointing.
No, definitely. Like, they need to step it up today. Their rotations have been getting better, though, I do have to say, throughout the entirety, especially from the group stage over to the semi-finals. Still not quite there. Maybe today will be their day where they're able to get themselves a few chicken dinners, because if I'm not mistaken, they got no chicken dinners so far.
Yep,
they got absolutely none, which, like, most of the top teams, they got already, like, 3-4 chicken dinners, so they got to try and ramp things up. Let's go check out, anyways, the schedule for these 2 days of finals in Pyram. Of course, it's going to be the same format as for the semi-finals. We're kicking it off today with Erangel, Sanhok, Miramar, Vikendi. Copy-paste that format for tomorrow. So we're going to have 2 games on every single map. So you need to have diversity in your gameplay. You must know how to play aggressive. You must know how to rotate efficiently. You must know how to peek, how to scout. You need to mix up all those gameplay styles to be one of the best teams of Europe, to prove your true value on an international stage.
Hell yeah, I don't think I could have said that better myself, to be perfectly honest. Max, we know that there's some teams that have looked stronger in other maps when we look at Vikendi, Red Reserve. When I was talking to Sonic last night, like, in preparation for the likes of Vikendi, he spent literally 16 hours on the Vikendi map, getting to know every single spot of that map. And it's paid off. The 2 of their game wins, I think both of their semi-final wins came in Vikendi, if I'm not mistaken. And even a win in their group stage, I believe, came in Vikendi. So that is definitely their favorite map. So that's going to give them that slight advantage. When you're looking at Erangel, yeah, it's a map that should be the most neutral for these teams, but Cream have dominated that map, with OVN surprisingly really evolving behind them in second spot, followed by their next.
And yeah, OVN becoming one of the favorites very quickly in the semi-finals on Erangel, which is a map they were good on it, but they were not consistent, and they just worked that out because they were a team that were very focused on Sanhok, on Vikendi, as I said, throughout the entirety of this PMCO for the European region, and they added that gameplay of these 2 maps to their Erangel gameplay. Of course, they shifted it up a little bit to an extra notch because it is a little bit more focused on rotations, and it worked out perfectly for them. So OVN is definitely going to be one of my potential teams to look out for this game, because they have this is a team that has a potential of qualifying for not only the regional finals, but also for the World League.
Of course they do. They deserve to be here. They deserve to finish in the semi-finals in the 3rd spot. 143 points. They ended up on only 15 points behind top spot, which was Cream Esports. When you're looking at average points per game, look, you know, if you're climbing for that number 1, it has to be roughly between 12 to 15 points per game. I know that you know, the Cream had 15.8 points per game in its semi-finals, but I feel that as you get into the top 16 teams, there's technically less kind of points to take advantage of, because these are the top 16 teams, whereas you don't have the less skilled teams, so to speak, to maybe chip a point or 2 off. So I'm expecting it to be between the 12 and 15 point mark for the number 1 spot.
Now, it should be like the points should be spread and split up a lot more, especially kills. Like, those are the ones that should be evenly spread out throughout at least the top few teams of this tournament. But here we go, Imperium. Our very first playing path, our very first map, our very first game of the EU Finals for Spring Split 2020 is upon us. And we'll be having a playing path from Milta over to Zaki. So pretty nice. Primorsk a little bit out of the way, but that should be a-okay for most of these squads.
Now, we know that in Erangel, the majority of the circles have been pretty much to the southwest. Now, with a kind of northerly playing path, will it create a lot of harsh rotations if that phase 1 circle is on the southwest? I don't think so. I feel that we're going to have a lot of passiveness in play, kind of similar to towards the end of the semi-finals, just teams waiting it out, finding a spot towards the center of the circle and just kind of holding out until that phase 4, phase 5, where we'll see teams get scrunched together a lot more.
I mean, I think we're specifically going to see two different play styles. One going very aggressive, aiming for kills to save their life, and also the ones that aim for positioning. But that is a very southern playing path. There's a big chance of it actually going over to Sosnovka Island. So, Hate Gaming, that's going to be their main drop location as always, and they're trying to set it up. And I had the chance of talking with Hate Gaming actually yesterday after the semi-finals, and they said they're not aiming for the regional finals. No. They're aiming for the World League spot. They are a top team, and they're looking for that #1 position.
And honestly, I wouldn't expect anything better. They've proven that they justifiably should be fighting for that #1 spot. And in the group stage, I would have said differently. They kicked the group stage off with 2 chicken dinners in a row, and then they fell off. But then in semifinals, they looked a lot more consistent, a little bit of luck along the way, but nothing wrong with that. That's always going to be part of PUBG Mobile, and I always say you make your own luck at the end of the day. But the interesting thing with this Phase 1 circle is that, yeah, it's looking like a military base finish, but a lot of that circle is on the mainland, which means we could see quite a few teams camping around the east and west bridge.
Those bridge camp compounds would be extremely valuable. But one thing I saw on the map that was actually pretty interesting is that Team Dope, for the first time in forever, dropped in Southern George Pole. They don't usually do that, and they're going to be facing up against a team over there. So Team Dope, they're not a team that likes to take early game engagements. They like to spread out, split their wings a little bit and try and get as much loot as possible before regrouping. So I'm going to be interested to see if that new playstyle, at least this first drop on this game, will fit the playstyle of Team Dope, because they've never done that so far.
No, but other than them, to be perfectly honest, everybody is in their respectably known spots so far. If they haven't gotten there via landing, they're rotating there, like OVN gone up to Severny. You've had Next going to Gatka. MVP are making their way towards Ferry Pier. There are 3 teams in the George Paul area. Of course, Dope, as you mentioned, thrown and then in the crates, and then AK-47 up in North George. Those are the teams that will have to kind of rotate the hardest as Phase 1 does close in. So I wonder, will they clash together upon the rotations, or will they even engage on each other? I don't think they will. Like I said, I'm expecting some passive early game, Maxwell.
Especially if you're in Southern George Pole. Like, you got the crates, you got the houses, so they were a little bit spread out, especially Team Dope took the houses, where normally Terra used to drop. Big F for Terra, by the way. They got eliminated purely because of kill points not being too present. But Dale, going to be put under fire. Not going to be the first kill of this game just yet. But Whitey, good information. But Goskilla usually play really passive in this area and rotate up north. But because the circle shifting down south, they might have to try and force this one through a little bit.
That's a good point, Max. That's a really good point. That in theory, they and if they look to kind of disengage to the east of east and then southeast, they're going to be going towards the likes of Red Reserve. If they kind of go towards the west, they might hit LAKONOSTRA a bit, although that would be the safer path. And yeah, you're dead right. In theory, they kind of have to go through Warlords at this point anyway.
Or at least go pick up a car in that area. So we'll be keeping an eye out for that.
Of course.
How it goes in their favor. Hey, Gaming, as I said, Military Island, they're going to be taking that one for themselves. Easy loot, easy days. The loot is really good at this stage, so they should get a bunch of tier 3, potentially helmets, vests, so they should be up for a really good early game stage. But gatekeeping this area is going to be pretty hard, so what I would say is, after they're done looting, try and hold to, a compound which is easy to defend and a lot smaller, because military base is, of course, going to be too big for every team.
It is, and remember the last one, we did have a military base finish, although that was a 1 billion% confirmed military base finish. We had a lot of teams rotating in late. I feel like we are getting a lot of learning, although PedjaDBoy and Cream could be looking to get a little bit close as Phase 1 starts to close in.
Ream always do this type of rotation, so maybe PedjaDBoy can kind of anticipate it. Oh, that was some really good shots coming out from Wolves. Putting Calamos down, ready to a quarter HP. To get sandwiched up with Pecco in the building, but PedjaDBoys, they got the man advantage. 4 members right there on the coastal line, and Calamos kind of pinched up. Can't really cross any further, but he can hold that position. But if PedjaDBoys try to push on that position, this is when the other members of Cream should try and assist Calamos in that defense.
Remember last time PedjaDBoys and Cream engaged on each other at this point, PedjaDBoys took him out, Max.
Yeah.
Although that was at a point when PedjaDBoys were fighting heavily for the points that they needed. They had to play quite aggressively, whereas now it's the start of the finals. They can maybe just wait it out a bit and hold off.
But there you go. The two of the members of Cream are here. That means that potentially PedjaDBoys, they're not going to be able to move from here. But if I'm not mistaken, is that a boat behind? They could actually take that.
Oh, yeah.
They could take that and rotate back south on the coastline.
That would be really risky, though.
It would be really risky, yeah. It would be really risky. It's just depending on if Cream move away from this position. But right now, Cream, they are controlling this area. Why would they ever give it away? And if they see that they're going for the boat, boats are so easy to predict. You can spray fire down and make it explode with 4 members in a matter of a few seconds. So it's a high risk, high reward. I would not say it. Maybe even send just 1 member to like kind of get them like to hear the sound of it and rotate elsewhere. But this is a pretty sticky situation that PedjaDBoys are in. There's not an easy way out of here.
Oh, Aries getting sprayed by Kalamos Bain. Return Mamula with the DP28. Knocks down Kalamos.
Now you create an opening. PedjaDBoys, they know it, and they're going to push straight on the position of Kalamos, flush out that 1 frag, and they can potentially even cross down the bridge. So that does create that 1 opening that they needed to make things a little bit smoother. But Pecco now, he does want to let the flush happen.
Yeah, we did see the Real Deal and MVP engaging on each other. An early kill for the Real Deal. That point, that extra point in the early part could, of course, make a difference in the overall standings as the Real Deal. I rate the Real Deal as a team that could surprise and really come out even on top.
Like Kalamos will be dying out. Let's not forget Kalamos. If you guys did not see the European montage of the group stage, Kalamos had the #1 clip of the top 10 moves of the group stage. So losing him early, no, would definitely be a big issue. So let's hope he will not get eliminated, but it does seem like that will be the case. While Cream's still trying to find an opportunity. But talking about the bridge compounds a little bit earlier, Imperium is going to be in the hands of MVP Gaming, and next they're going to fight for that position. But next usually don't rotate that quickly away from Gatka, and they really understand the value of this position. That's why they rotated so early.
I don't get why none of these teams are looking to even rotate towards Primorsk and get a boat from that direction, because normally Primorsk would be located by let's say Respect and another team, but there's none of those teams are in here. That's an open area. It would have been much safer and for them to get across the military base via the boats on Primorsk.
The Irish God is here. He's going to be joining back his team, while Slobos and Danny in a one-on-one scenario, fighting over this position. And know how much valuable it is, but Cream, they're just going to be leaving the scene. They already lost Kalamos. They are not taking any further risk. And now that boat is a valuable option. They can go for it.
Wow. Hey, look, you know, PedjaDBoys coming out to fight. Of course, coming out on top of that engagement with a kill against the #1 rated team so far, Cream. Although MVP Danny is getting put under pressure by Slobos of Next.
Yep, still going to give it a shot. Surprised that Next are not going for a little bit of a split engagement. But PedjaDBoys, of course, that creates an opening. They're going to cross straight over. They don't want to get pressured or gatekeeped. So I like that rotation. No, PedjaDBoys, I said it, they are one of the big underdog teams. If you want a team to pull off a big comeback and a team that you're not expecting to take a series and take even a position in regional finals, it would be PedjaDBoys. So keep an eye out for them.
Talk about keeping an eye out and talking about rotations. Elevate. Remember what I talked about? Primorsk, that's on the opposite end. That's exactly what Elevate have done. Gone out towards the south of Milta, gotten into the boat, and are rotating across into the military base.
Very safe. I'm pretty sure that this time they are expecting no teams to have set up camp in the southern coastal line area of Sosnovka. So I do like that rotation indeed coming through from them. But Danny just holding his own, really holding the angles properly. Slobos can't really peek out, but I'm surprised they're not sending an extra member of Next just to assist Slobos. I find that a little bit risky, because otherwise if Slobos gets knocked, he's flushed.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They know that there's 2 members of MVP up on the high ground little tower up nearby the bridge, so they have that angle off the members of Next. If they look to go from the tower to the house, they're going to get put under pressure.
Oh, they can't do it now, but like when they started the engage, I'm surprised they didn't send 2 right off the bat. But now that the setup has been put for Next, for MVP Gaming, sorry, like they're not going to be able to do that rotation. Will be very hard. And also the Real Deal are going to be somewhat really annoying in that kind of rotation. So really the fight is not going too far for now, but now is when you take your gamble. Do you rotate to the mainland or do you rotate to Sosnovka? Because like now, on phase 3, we don't know where it's going to shift. It's almost a 50-50 split.
Honestly, for these series specifically, they're stuck on the mainland.
Yeah.
They're really stuck on the mainland until one of the teams get taken out. Then it'll give a little bit more space for the other teams to rotate in. One team that has left it very late to rotate in is Red Reserve, and I actually don't mind that because they landed up and farm, they looted up. Not farm, should I say, but where they normally land up. They've given themselves plenty of time, and they're also creating that space, even though they are taking a bit of tick zone damage.
I mean, I'm happy with that happening for Red Reserve because we saw recently, like, every time they sent Sonic, they were very split in their rotations, and Sonic would die out first, and it will be like 3 members. So they're doing that rotation together. That is already way better than what happened so far, I would have to say. But Elevate, they make it out of the water on a coastal line. They got a place to call home, so they don't get denied on that boat shift, which is always going to be a little bit risky, but it paid off.
Oh, a team that have really made it, and I mentioned it already, is Elevate. They didn't actually land in Novo. They went wrapped around and landed on the south side of the military base. Something that we see a lot from competitive PUBG PC teams, and it's a beautiful rotation.
I do enjoy it. It's very by the book, it's very useful, and I know when it's by the book, that means it is good to do, and it is effective. But this game has now calmed down, but I want to see where the next phase is going to come through. Oh, while OVN crossed the pass of Team Dope, all in the water. But they don't get scouted out. Luckily enough for them, because that could have gone absolutely south so quickly for them.
Talking about south or not going south in this case, the circle, even though it's not on our feeds, I hope it shows up, it's gone against military base.
Oh!
It's in the mainland.
There was that much military base.
Cream, PedjaDBoy, hey, they're all gonna find a tough job. Okay, for Cream and PedjaDBoy, it's gonna be a little bit easier on the east side, but what are they gonna do? How are they gonna get into the mainland? Look at all the teams that are on the coastal line.
PUBG Mobile, that's messed up. How dare you do that in the finals? You can't do that to these teams. But finally, Danny, he was holding his own on for a very long period of time, but finally will get flushed away. He has an end of to his suffering. Well, MVP down to still 2 now. Layer 1 and Militia. They're going to have a position to hold on to. They're not going to get attacked. It's really hard to go up here on that kind of compound. So even though they're only 2 members, they can hold on to it. But a lot of teams are going to now try and cross. So MVP, they've got to do their part of the contract and try and deny those rotations.
If I was the real deal, I would actually get in the vehicle and completely disengage.
Yeah,
and the reason why is because they would see the fact that there was another member of MVP being taken out. Therefore, the remaining 2 players will not want to in any way really engage on these 2 teams around them. So that gives a lot more space automatically for the real deal to disengage, find a better location towards the center of the circle on the mainland, and go from there.
I would even say just go up north. Like, I've seen how most of these teams, like 80% of the teams speculated they would shift on the military island kind of focus. It went up north. That means that the northern edge of the circle is actually open for the taking. If this compound's awesome, good terrain to play with, I would say just rotate there. I think that that's a good opportunity, but they're not ready to commit just yet because they have that lack of information, so they're not going to put all their eggs in one basket.
Yeah, no, very, very much so. Lower one taking a little bit of tick damage as Cream swim across the water. Phantom waiting on by the knockdown. Could we see a bit of an upset on game 1 of the finals? Cream being taken out early on. It would not be a good start for the #1 rated team.
I mean, now the issue, right, is that they got scouted by Team Warlords. When they make it out of the water, and they're going to be on the mainland, they also got that beach area, just got no trees, no rocks, nothing to hide behind. So really, they're safe in the water, I would even say right now, because otherwise they've got like 50 meters to run through before getting to their very first tree. This is not looking good for Cream and Team Warlords. They're not going to let that go. They need every single kill they can get.
Honestly, they can't go to mainland. They're going to have to swim back onto military base and hope they survive from there. As PedjaDBoys, they got into the mainland now. They shifted their way across towards the coastline. Warlords right in front. They'll have heard the shots. Warlords got a little bit too down that cliff.
Oh no! How did you not get that, Mamula? Oh, that got punished heavily. Now Dale down a few HP. Can't really hide himself too nicely, so they've got to be cautious. But can they even make it back up? I think he can wrap around. Yeah, they can. That's what they're going to try and do. Wrap around to the mainland. While Tudor is going to get, unfortunately, knocked away the play. Wow, that blue zone is claiming way too many lives in this final phase. I don't like that. And actually, a team eliminated. Which one is that?
That is, I will tell you, OVNEsport.
Oh, no.
They've gone down early on. I don't know exactly what happened. I believe it was maybe UDRKILLERS that got the kills onto them. But that is a little bit of a disappointment. But Wolves responding back, knocking down Sands.
Yeah. A little bit predictable in that rotation. You know that they were not going to try and take that fight. And Team Warlords, they are suffering huge casualties right now. Well, Dale gets flushed out. Sans is on his knees. Phantom Backfire going to be remaining. Can they make this work out? I mean, it's not a good position to make it work out. So we'll see how PedjaDBoys, they must not relieve the pressure. These are your kills to take. This is your fight to take.
And here's the thing.
Nice.
To be honest, like, Warlords really put themselves in that tricky position. Yeah. They shouldn't have been so down on the cliff line. A little bit narrow-minded in a position. And it's gone against them.
Yeah, they should be very cautious. It's good to take positions to apply pressure on a team, but unfortunately, doing that when you can actually get backstabbed so easily is never a good thing. While Hate Gaming, they're going to drop out. You know, it's always better to drop out at this stage, not continuing, because otherwise the compounds around the bridge will mess you up. And Hate Gaming was that 2-2 split. They're going to make it through pretty nicely, but this circle shift is not in their favor once again, so they have to go a little bit further.
But look at that. They're wrapping around the edge of the blue zone, avoiding as much as they can. It's still not going to be super safe, right? But they're looking to shift up on the north/the west location, and yeah, it's safe. That's all they want to be at this point.
Yep. As early on, you want to play as safe as you possibly can. LAKONOSTRA, they're in the same position Team Warlords were in actually a few seconds ago, so avoid getting scattered out by UDRKILLERS. Well, even though it's just one member of UDRKILLERS, while Elevate, they're moving away. Unfortunately, the gamble of going to Sanhok did not pay off Imperium, and they're going to have to swim it out just like Cream.
And the Real Deal made their way up from the coastal line bridge location, now up into a really nice spot. Those compounds, I'm a huge fan of those compounds when you're playing the coastline on the west coast of the mainland, and they are putting pressure onto UDRKILLERS.
I think that going up north was actually really good, but that compound actually not being taken was so valuable for them.
Yeah.
So I'm actually really happy, but LAKONOSTRA, you got to be careful. I don't think they can make it out alive here, to be completely honest, because they're on that cliff. You can't make it up easily to the mainland, and the circle, there are big odds of phase 5 actually shifting away from you, and a few teams in the water that might be an issue if you don't scout them out early.
Here's the thing, the longer they leave it to rotate, yeah, the harder it's going to be indeed. Max, and now it's thrown. Going to be swimming with the fishes if the Real Deal finds them.
It's fishing time. Let's see how they can make it work out. You know, they sent only 2 members out of the compound, which I do like. Or he tried to fight back a little bit too slow on the response. Daddy will get that initial knockdown. KZS, unfortunately, Rez in that open area seems a little bit harsh, so that is pretty sure going to get confirmed. While Reeves nades himself. Not sure what happened there.
Who's your daddy? The Real Deal is your daddy as they look to get points on the board. That's 2 so far in this game. The phase 5 has shifted up north in the favor of, lo and behold, Next, who rotated very quickly towards the center of phase 4, and now it's still in phase 5. Also, Red Reserve on the north side are in a good spot.
Okay. I mean, Next are a team that have been known as like a big anticipation of circle team. While Hate Gaming, that was a risky move going right next to that one shack, and they're going to lose one. That's going to be named out instantly, just flushed out. The Real Deal, they find a shack of their own. They're going to try and set up camp there. It can be pretty risky because you're not out of the equation when you're on these kind of shacks because you're open to take damage from high ground positions.
Plus, that's going to require them to use quite a bit of utility with smokes. And if we have an open field finish, which we could well see, smokes are going to be imperative for surviving for the remaining teams. So using them now at this stage when there's still 14 teams or so is going to be incredibly hard. But I believe, Maxman, that has been the end of Cream. We've already lost 5 teams. We're down to 11 and 28 players.
I think we even lost Elevate, if I'm not completely mistaken. I saw a few frags happening. Yeah, they gone out too, man. Elevate, we said they need to have a good performance. This is definitely not a great start for them. But now a lot of smokes. As you said, shack positions, you have to make up for that a little bit of lack of protection by using that utility. And now we'll be seeing, but that road is a 50-50 split, but not many compounds. I think there's just still 1 remaining. But now the position where AK-47 is currently located, which is the high ground on the east, is so valuable because it gives you so much map visibility, and also it's pretty nice to defend.
True, but there is Goskilla coming in from the east behind them. Could affect them as MVP, trying to hold on. The Real Deal still applying pressure, even though they're being aggressed by all angles.
And there you go, that's going to be MVP. They get taken out in 10th position, and because it's such a flat terrain, you know that's going to mess up a lot of teams on their initial rotation. If it is not a good position to hold on to on a flat area, you're going to get absolutely battered. But the Real Deal, 1 nade, that's all you need to shut them down. But Hate Gaming, they're getting pressured from another angle, and Jaja will be a casualty, the second to be exact for Hate Gaming.
There's still MZ. There's still Navy, or Navi as you call them, that's standing for hate. As they try to hold on. Throne also doing what they can. I believe Naranx is the last man standing for Throne.
Oh my god, Naranx, how are you going to make this one work out? I mean, he's not in the blue, he's not in the circle, he's going to have to move on down. I hope he's got a few smokes to survive it, because otherwise we'll have to say goodbye to Throne in this game. And he is going to be ticking down, trying to out-heal, trying to aim for extra positioning points if you can, but still, you got to go a little bit high if you want to get those points. But the real deal, they're not going to let that shift happen, but still, as I said, this Shaka can get pressured from any angle from the high ground position.
Plus, look at the phase 5 max. It's shifted down. Next,
another hard shift.
Circle gods. They do it time and time again. I don't know how they do it, but it just goes in their favor. They're right in the center, although the real deal have also favored by this circle shift. Even the likes of Hate Gaming are close, but they're definitely being under pressure on the west side of this circle.
Yeah, but Daddy's going to be the only one looking in their global vicinity, so that might make an opportunity for them. They've got to go a little bit downhill. That terrain is not too in their favor, but snaking will allow them to aim for extra positioning points. Down out to top 8 teams. Shaxx only in play, but with all these teams coming down on them, it's not great to peek out from Shaxx. And also, one nade once a team is close enough is going to mess you up, so they're good to hold on to, but I would say maybe go for a 2-2 split and maybe get some snakes involved.
Here's the thing, just what I was talking about, Goskilla coming in from behind, unlike AK-47 and UDRKILLERS.
Well, Nano.
I honestly really feel sorry for Red Reserve at this stage of the game. I don't know how they rotate into the circle from where they are right now.
Hate Gaming, unfortunately, they die with that car rotation. We knew it was risky. I think they should have just tried to snake it through, but they gave their position away. They get taken out early on. PedjaDBoy is also eliminated in 6. Now we got UDRKILLERS, you got Goskilla, still a member of Red Reserve, and it's all down to the real deal, and also going to be next. Still involved with that compound. Well, was that Shaq?
Honestly, this game was not a normal game. Let's be
not at all.
Perfectly honest, Matt. This was not a normal game. It was crazy, rampant with those circle shifts, but at the end of the day, that's PUBG Mobile for you, baby. This is what we love to see as casters when the action unfolds.
Goskilla and UDRKILLERS, they got to go down here, and you know that next and the real deal was that position. They're not going to let that one happen. Imperium, I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is a 4v4, v1v1 now. But there you go.
No, it's not now. It's going to be 4
it's a 3.
V3 V1.
Yep, Hard was down. I did not see that, but there you go. And as I said, that was not going to go well for the one-man teams. Red Reserve, they get taken out. Also, that last member of Goskilla. So now it's all on the last member of UDRKILLERS. But you know that he's going to die in a matter of seconds. So it will all be in the hands of Next, really, versus the real deal for this first chicken dinner of the finals.
And actually, it's hard to tell, right? Because both these teams are in circle. It's all going to come down to phase 7 circle shift. Nano's going to get peeked up, going to get taken out by the real deal.
7 kills
for this team. As there's still a full squad. You can't say that realistically right now without the circles just showing up. It is in the advantage of the real deal simply because they're a full squad. But no, it goes in the favor of Next. What are they doing? How are they getting these kind of circles, Max?
Oh my god, they paid the PUBG Mobile gods, but we seem like we're going to be having a smoke road put together to allow Hackshot to move on through with that Dacia. Going to be risky. Move on one step at a time. I would say Next, send one member across the road with the smoke road and get behind the tree to create 2 points of pressure. That would be, in my opinion, the best way for them to play it, because right now, they're extremely predictable. A few nades could end it all for Next.
And if I was real deal, honestly, I would have full sent it with the car. I would have just gone in, go hard, go home. They've done fantastically to even get into the top 2, considering how crazy these circle shifts were. They have the man advantage. They know they have the man advantage because they were the full squad. But now Topson with the flank, prone it through. You mentioned it, really good point of pressure by Next, flanking from the side.
I thought he was going to do it on the other side of the road, but he's not taking any risk. He's just going to try and go here on the west and try and wrap around, but the sprays are consistent from both sides. While Next, they're going to lose 2 members. Topson is remaining. He has to take this 1v3. The rest would be pretty risky. Will they take it? Not too sure. But now Topson is the last chance for Next to secure himself this chicken dinner.
Max, as he single-handedly turned this game into the favor for the real deal, getting the 2 knockdowns. Yes, of course, Thompson flanked to the side, but that exposed the 2 remaining members. I don't think he sees them, as he knows he's there. But now Thompson gets spotted out, and the real deal get the first chicken dinner of the finals.
There was 1 pixel out of place, and that's all the real deal needed to get themselves their very first chicken dinner. 6 kills for Ozzy, 2 for Bujo, 1 for Hackshot and Daddy. What a great first game for them. We knew how good they were. We knew their potential, and there you have it. The shot calls also from Bujo on that rotation was working out absolutely splendidly, and that allows them to get themselves the first dub of the finals. Next still, not going to hide it, but what an insane game from them. The circles were in their favor, but the man advantage 3v4 was a little bit tricky for them.
Honestly, like, they got, like, so incredibly lucky. Let's be honest, they did. They did, like, like, the real, when you're really looking at it, the real deal deserved that game more than next when it all came down to it, because when the real deal rotated in, they had 3 to 4 teams looking in their direction, thrown UDRKILLERS, of course. Sorry, when the real deal rotated in, they'd next thrown UDRKILLERS, Hate Gaming even at some points. And they handled that pressure phenomenally. And when you're able to handle that pressure as a squad, staying cool, and you still get that dub, you get that chicken dinner. Oh, God damn it, I said that they were the team to look out for, and they're kicking things off on a strong note.
On a strong style indeed, the real deal once again. First dub, UDRKILLERS still not gonna be on a little bit of an undertone, but UDRKILLERS 3 kills, 3rd position after a good start. A team that did somewhat struggle, throughout the group stage, throughout the semi-finals to get actually qualified, but they start on a pretty strong note. I do have to say, this is a good start.
It is. Like I said during the game though, Max, this wasn't a normal game. It wasn't.
You can't prepare for it, yeah.
You can't really prepare for those kind of circle shifts. Because it was I think it was phase 3 where it really confirmed it was going to be mainland, and
3-4, yeah.
It just wasn't a normal game, and even though I enjoyed it as a caster, I also didn't enjoy it because I know some teams got absolutely kicked in the gonads, so to speak, with those circle shifts, and yeah, we didn't see the true potential for some of these teams. But then again, look, RNG is always going to be a part of PUBG Mobile, so it was what it was.
It was what it was indeed, unfortunately. As these top 16 teams, you have to deal a little bit with the RNG side of things. I know some teams got a little bit more luckier than others, and they knew how to use it and abuse it in some way. So congrats, the real deal. Next, they did really good. 1st and 2nd position, respectively. One team I'm a little bit sad to see go out in 16th position, that's OVN. They were the team that I just said they're going to do really good. It's the first game, it's fine, but you only have 8 games. You only have 2 Erangel games total in the finals. That will come and haunt you, potentially, for OVN. And not only for them, like Cream, also for Elevate. A lot of these teams that we expect them to be in, the top of the mountain, they struggled on that game number 1. So it shows the level of gameplay has risen just that much higher.
Yeah, and Red Reserve finishing in 5th was really the best they could have asked for, considering that circle. I think it was phase 4 or phase 5 where it shifted so heavily down south, and like I said, they were at a point where they were kind of at the crossroads. It was completely flat terrain. They could go nowhere because next in front of them they Goskilla, AK-47, and even UDRKILLERS up to the east of them. I believe it was just so hard for them to even do anything from that point. And considering the fact that Elevate and Cream did so bad, and even OVN, really that was a positive result for Red Reserve right now in the grand scheme of things.
I want to talk about 2 teams that have to improve their positioning. That's going to be I think you know which one I'm going to talk about. Team Warlords and LAKONOSTRA. They got themselves not on top of the cliffs on the riverside. They got themselves below the cliff. And that messes you up tremendously. Sure, you got really good shots potentially to shoot over to Sanhok, to the people in the water, but man, if a team comes right behind you like PedjaDBoy did, you're going to get absolutely destroyed. So if I can not see any more teams go down on those cliffs, that'll make me really happy. Please don't do that anymore. It's a risky position, and it's very rarely going to be rewarding.
Yeah, exactly. They just put themselves in a corner, and they got punished because of it. And that's why I'm a little bit surprised with. I don't know exactly what happened to OVN, but that's why I'm a little bit surprised, because they didn't seem to be in too much of a dangerous position. I know they were on the east side of that circle on like phase 2 or phase 3, and there was a few teams around them, but if I was to predict what happened, they just got caught napping, and that can't happen.
Yeah, but hopefully they'll be able to improve after that first game. But ladies and gentlemen, that was our very first game of the finals for this European region. We're going for a very short break. Myself and Imperium will be back for game number 2, which will of course be on Sanhok. Stay tuned, we'll be back shortly for some Sanhok sweaty action. to the jungle. I don't know why I did that, but okay, there you go. Guys, welcome back to our second game of the day. It's going to be, of course, on, as you said, the jungle map. We're going to be on Sanhok, but still great first chicken dinner on Erangel. That was won by none other than the real deal with a pretty significant kill count also, Imperium.
Yeah, of course, because they got into that position, fended off all the teams around them, picked off some kills along the way, finished off on 10 kills with that chicken dinner. It's going to lie them firmly on top of the standings after game one with 30 points, but followed very swiftly. Well, not too swiftly, but followed by next in second place with 20 points, and then it does drift its way down the table. Goskilla holding on to third.
I mean, next we were expecting them to be in the top four, so on that first game, and not too surprised to see them in second position. But a few teams that we are kind of like, what the hell happened? Hate Gaming 9th so far, Cream in 13th, OVN in 14th, Elevate in 15th too. Like, these are some big upsets for the very first game. Hopefully their moral won't get too messed up because of this. But also, I got myself a little bit of intel. I got some information from some players of OVN to know what the hell happened on that first game. And they went for boat rotation down to the southern sides of military base. But unfortunately, their boat apparently got blocked. And he said, you know what happened next. So apparently they died in the water. So an unfortunate boat rotation.
Okay. I really thought that they might, and my apologies if I gave that misinformation. I really thought that they were on the mainland when they got taken out. I didn't quite catch it, but either way, feels bad, man. And I didn't really say it, but I do believe, in my opinion, the teams can only afford one bad result. When I say one bad result, I mean like a 1 to 4 point game. Every single other game, in my opinion, has to be obviously either chicken dinners or between 9 to 16 point games. The reason why is because, like I said, with that kind of 15 point, 12 to 15 point per game average, that in my opinion will capture the top spot. If you can get that strong 30 point game, one 2 point game, but every other game is hovering between 9 to 16 points, you'll find yourselves very firmly in the top four.
You definitely do want to set yourself an average very early on, right? Because otherwise you can fall behind pretty quickly. Like we saw a lot of the teams really struggle, like the top teams like Cream, Elevate, OVN, having a hard time. They now need to unfortunately have good games all the time. You said one game. I think 2 games they can afford kind of bad, slash 5 points average. But otherwise they need to have most of their games have to be top notch, or otherwise you're always the best teams in Europe. If you have too many bad games, they're going to take their opportunity. They're going to take the offer, and they're going to shut you down.
If you get 2 chicken dinners, then yeah, in theory you can afford 2 bad results. But I'm going off the basis of pretty much, maybe the top team getting 2 chicken dinners. But I can't, and only because the caliber is so high, I can't see a team getting, more than 2 teams getting more than 2 chicken dinners, if that makes sense. I think it is going to be, kind of the top 5-6 teams getting chicken dinners, and then the reason why teams qualify is because of those consistently strong 9 to 15 point games.
I mean, we saw already a few teams get themselves in top 5 positions without any chicken dinners. So sure, they look cool, they're all nice and fancy, but at the end of the day, that's not really what you're aiming for. You're aiming for consistency, and that is what will buy you a spot to the EU Regional Finals, to also that one spot for the World League West. So let's go. Anyways, Imperium, we're going to be on Miramar. I was pretty sure we were going to go over to Sanhok, but we are Miramar.
Yeah, I really thought it was going to be Miramar indeed.
Wait, let me check the schedule.
Oh, well.
It was supposed to be Sanhok. There you go. Okay, I just moved the schedule to show you guys on stream. It was. Okay, there you go. But I mean, we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it. It's okay.
We'll deal with it.
I mean, early Miramar. I like it.
and when I was talking to Reeves last night, the Irish God, I was playing a couple of games with him as well. He was saying that one of his kind of fears is that Cream will choke. And that's okay. And when I say that's okay, it's not obviously not okay to choke, but I think it's acceptable to be fearful and aware of potentially choking, but it shouldn't dominate your mind, and it shouldn't dominate your mindset coming into these games.
You should never let anything dominate your mindset. Otherwise, you know, I say that a lot, but like professional player is 50% skill and 50% mindset. How you go into your games, how you think about the game and your environment.
Yeah.
Might be not the exact numbers. You know, I like to say 50-50 split. So there you go. We'll be seeing how Game 2 will be unfolding as you have a northern plane path straight down to the south of Valdemar. And eastern coastal line with Impala might be a little bit out of the way. But otherwise, that's not too bad of a hard plane path.
Yeah, no, and I feel that most teams like to kind of land, you know, more to kind of the center/west of the map. Anyway, you know, in terms of Cream, Los Leones, elevate down towards the south. I think Cream might go into Los Leones. That's what I'm thinking, and from talking to the guys, they might look to do that. Of course, Picado will be going over to Red Reserve. In the past, we've seen Throne challenge Red Reserve, but I think and I believe that they pushed Throne out of Picado.
I'm pretty sure that was what did happen. We'll see if it might happen again on this one. We'll be seeing some pretty usual drops here and there. LAKONOSTRA with Throne going over the area of Junkyard. That plane path with this phase 1 circle is actually really good. So we should normally not see any death or teams going out early. This has no reason to happen, and especially because you got no boat rotation. So if a team dies out on phase 1, I would say you kind of messed up.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, we will see super passive gameplay. Like, we all know Miramar is always an overall passive map. It's the biggest map. There's lots of area to move around and rotate. However, because the phase 1 circle is up more towards the northwest, there is still a chunk of space free around Crater Fields water treatment, which is even La Cabrera, which is free for these teams to kind of take as their own. Water treatment is an area that has quite a bit of high ground kind of around it. So that could be a good spot. We've seen Crater Fields in the past being a really strong point of contact for these teams. So if it is occupied, that will provide a bit more space down the south side of the map for the rest of the teams.
I'm so surprised to see so many squads give up on Chumacera. Like, every time in the scrims, we would have like 3, 4, potentially even 5 teams on like big days who would like end up going there. Now, I mean, also because we don't have 32 teams anymore, we do have 16. They gave up on that. Now everyone's got like their respective drop-in location that no one's going to try to contest, and if it's not necessary. So that is how you expect to see it, and also because on Miramar you want to drop your spots a lot more evenly, or otherwise some early game confrontation could happen. But San Martin, that's fine.
We'll see. I'm just like, after that first Erangel game where it was crazy, a bit unfair to teams, I'm hoping for a kind of a more skill-based Miramar
a normal
game
circle.
With a normal circle. Of course, we're bound to see some hardships, right? But when it's all in the mainland, you're not going to, like you said, you're not going to see boats. I'm okay with that, and I'm just going to like wait it out and see what we see in front of us.
Yep. Still got 64 players. Just a step in the right direction for this lobby. Hope is not going to be going down south in a few seconds, or I'll be definitely a little bit sad. UDRKILLERS, they got himself third position. Last game was 3 kills. So they're a team that has to get those consistent results. They're definitely on the path to success. But MVP Gaming getting really close to Hacienda del Patron. Danny's got to be careful. You can see that Throne, they're interested in taking shots there, but they won't be able to make it there fast enough.
Yeah, MVP got there a little bit quicker. Now they're looking to kind of disengage away from that location. They join up as a team. As I said, Throne, they got kind of pushed out of Picado. So now they're going into Hacienda del Patron. See what they can do as a... Yeah, I know, I love saying Hacienda del Patron. But, yeah, MVP, they finished in a good spot. 3 kills. Well, only 3 kills, but in my opinion, it's not the worst game for them in Erangel, considering how crazy it was. Currently lying in 11th spot overall.
Oh, but there you go. MVP, they're going to go for the breach, and one member of Throne, and he's going to get overwhelmed. Lil One's going to get that first initial frag, and that will be the very first member. Narang's going down in this game. These are the only kind of members you can lose early on Miramar, because you're trying to get some intel, trying to loot up, trying to spread your wings early. But MVP, they saw that, they capitalized on it, took it 1v2. First kill to them.
Still scouts though. Having scouts, I know, man. I just.
I like having scouts, but like, there's not valuable.
Like it, man. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
I just don't like it, man. I just don't like it. But either way, Throne will survive as a 3-man team, and MVP will continue on as that full squad. Now, as we're getting into this blue zone closing in already, we're at the near 6-minute mark. Teams will look to start to kind of shift away, get a bit more of a central location in this huge Miramar map, and then wait for phase 2 to pop up.
Yep, just gotta wait, find yourself a compound. What you want to try and do the most when you are playing on a game of Miramar is the earlier you aim for a central compound, the easier your mid-game will be. Teams that did go for that location currently, well, we have San Martin, of course, which is going to be pretty central. You've got OVN, which try to always aim for those kind of like good positions. They did that really early, and Elevate done the same. Red Reserve, they're rotated away from Picado. They're trying to aim for the southern high ground position. Might clash a little bit with MVP, so we'll have to keep an eye out for that, see how the fight could be going.
Yeah, MVP seems to be rotating more towards San Martin and the hills to the south of it, but Red Reserve, from what I've seen, they're kind of rotating out of Picado already, going up that hill. They could clash with MVP early on. It is a nice spot to hold on to, but you really need to manage it effectively because it's so central to the circle. You can have some teams really kind of picking you off from a number of angles if you don't hold on to that spot.
There are actually a lot of teams getting pretty close to each other in the center, like around Power Grid mainly. I think we do have like Hate Gaming and Elevate game pretty scary close to each other. Yeah. Well, there you go. We're going to be panning over to it. Hate Gaming in that dip. That means nades are going to be pretty easy to hit. We'll see if that will happen. But Hate Gaming, they're going to get the first knockdown on Zuki. Now they got the man advantage. MZ a little bit low. He's got to try and regen. But you want to try and split out of that dip. This is a really scary position to be in when the team has some nades. And you see that we're going to try and cook some up. I think that even Class is going to get one. But there you go, Pokers. I said it. Nades in a dip. Never going to be good at Hate Gaming. They're going to lose MZ right off the bat.
Yeah, that's why it could also be a huge factor for Kaylas to flank around to get another angle, another level of hurt onto the members of Hate Gaming.
Hate Gaming, you got already one member that did split a little bit more over to the west, trying to potentially get a little bit of a sneaky flank upon Elevate. While Zuku slowly going to be bleeding out, while Na'Vi gets taken out by Will. Jaja, Neymar, get the hell out of there. But they still got a little bit of fight in them, while Will is going to get headshot straight to the face. I mean, that's where headshots are shot, so of course in the face. But Neymar's going to try and make his way back. He doesn't want to let his ally down, but Jaja's trying to go for the sneaky flank, trying to get a nice prone position to spray upon Elevate's members. But he's not able to take the shots just yet. And Class, is he going to let them time to res? Oh, not going to commit just yet.
Okay, Kaylas is on his own. He's on the high ground. Neymar finds it with the AKM, but doesn't quite get the shots needed.
This fight is going to maybe go for a long period of time. No teams want to do a mistake of peeking too much, even though Class did peek a little bit too early and I think gave his position away pretty harshly. So he did have to reposition, be a little bit more passive, but Jada trying to rotate away. Try to go for a sneaky flank, but a flank in the open when the high ground is against you. I think that was very unnecessary and not very rewarding for Jaja, so just better off getting to your team or get some terrain up your sleeve.
There's no way he can get to his team at this stage. And the game as Kaylas flanks around, does get a knockdown, leaving Neymar on his own. Solo and health, good. Positional play, I said Kaylas could be a danger flanking around to the side. And he has indeed been that danger.
I'm not going to lie, this fight absolutely sucks. Like, none of these two teams is winning something out of it. Elevate lost 2 members. Hate Gaming lost already like 3 members. Jaja's definitely not going to pull off those reses. This is unnecessary. And I think these teams should know that. Taking an early fight, especially at like phase 1 that just now shifted over to phase 2, I don't really understand the value of this.
I don't, but I'm still going to actually be a slight devil's advocate. That was a big win for Elevate. Because let's not forget, Elevate have struggled up until this point. Hate Gaming have done well. For Elevate to come out of this team fight on top, in my opinion, is a big W for them in the overall grand scheme of things. It will give them that slight extra boost of confidence. One thing I will point out, Max, is phase 2 has shifted heavily up north. So remember what I mentioned? Crater Fields, gonna be hot property in OVN. They're already there.
I keep on saying it every single time. If creative fields look pretty central, just flipping go for it. It's so valuable in intel and pure map pressure. And OVN, they're great at knowing points of pressure. Valuable positions to hold on to. And then no creative fields on the eastern side. Ooh, damn, that looks super spicy. Let's take that for ourselves.
Also, the real deal starting to rotate a bit up north. They were on the west. They've gone a bit more central to the circle. Not quite crater fields, but a strong location as thrown. They're getting punished by LAKONOSTRA.
LAKONOSTRA coming in hot. Alicio, the birthday was yesterday, so once again, happy birthday for that. And they got their birthday buff. They got qualified for the finals. What better birthday present could you ask for? But Team Dope, they're going to get the third party upon Elevate. And Class, they overstayed their welcome. Bazzi got knocked away, but Class, unfortunately, even in a dip, that nade could have come on through. But Team Dope, they don't even need it. And they're going to shut them down. That means that now, Hate Gaming and Elevate down to one member. None of those two teams won anything. As I just said, it was not worth it. Aim for compounds.
Max, remember when I said it's the finals? Anything can happen. It's anybody's game. That's exactly what we're seeing. As I said, I know it was an awkward game one, but this Miramar game, it's like there's nothing unclean about these circles. Yeah, shifted a little bit up north, but that's nothing crazy. Yet we're still seeing these unnecessary, as you mentioned, engagements in the early game between these teams.
To confirm my point, also Elevate got eliminated. This is 2 bad games in a row. You said they can only add 1 bad game. So Elevate, those 2 games might have already like nailed down their coffin. They might be already out of like the equation for the top 4 slots. It's so sad to see.
Look, 100%. It could. It's not over till it's over. Mathematically, scientifically, however you want to call it. So they're still in with the chance, but they need to bounce back, and they need to bounce back hard as Red Reserve. Could they catch a Bazzi of Doe?
Nah.
No.
A little bit too far. That's fine. Can't wait to see where phase 2 is going to go. Is it going to go towards Crater Fields? Is it going to shift away from it? Could get a little bit tricky for OVN if it is indeed the case, shifting away from that position. But the real deal, they got some really high ground position to hold on to. They're going to try and spray upon Team Dope, but the range is way too far. It's most of the time not going to return into anything valuable.
I told you the real deal have a fantastic spot in between these mountains. The vehicles Bazzi has gets blown up. It will be a matter of time in my eyes before he gets taken out. And a member of Dope will go down upon their rotation all the while. We're seeing phase 3 has shifted up to the north.
Away from Crater.
Once again. Sorry, not to north, but kind of northeast. And honestly, I feel bad for Red Reserve next. And even Cream, to be perfectly honest. Those teams getting heavily punished by that circle shift.
I love what OVN are doing though. They know their position absolutely sucks for this next phase, so they rotated earlier, just not get pressured by teams already positioned and set themselves up for success in the middle of the circles. OVN, always on point. They've been a great team in terms of rotation. Let's see if they can find a good position. While Cream, still not in circle, going to make it towards Hacienda del Patron and find a nice entry point over the southeast.
That's going to be a good spot. And if you're Red Reserve, actually go into the blue on the east side and rotate up to northeast out of trouble.
That could make it a little bit easier for them, relieving some pressure. But UDRKILLERS, they are getting pushed upon third position last game. Can they repeat that amount of success and get some nice extra points on this game of Miramar? We'll be seeing, but MVP definitely struggling. Militia, Layer 1 got knocked out. Layer 1 will be res back up, but they are going uphill. And I think there's actually another team on the back that has an angle on them. So this is not looking good for MVP Gaming. If they can, just retreat out of that position. Oh, I like this flank.
Feels like they're a little bit too pinched on Max. UDRKILLERS starting to surround them.
You see Danny? Danny? No, he can't. Oh, he's got that little dip, actually. That terrain's helping out. Wonders. There he goes. He goes for the initial knock, and that's going to be Danny down. Now they know, are they going to try and save Danny, or they're going to get the hell out of here? I think this is mostly going to be plan number 2. This is not worth rezzing up. You're not in a good position. You're pinched on the side of a mountain, which is like the worst position in PUBG Mobile to hold on to. So they're going to leave it. Nade still raining down, put low on a little bit lower. And they left. Does he still have a car to rotate with? I don't know.
What the hell are you doing, Sonic? Why are you going so close to Hacienda del Patron? Disengage away. Like I said, shift really in the circle. And Sonic all on his own. Muriel got knocked down. Agon's vehicle is so close to blowing up.
This is very messy, I do have to say. The car explodes, he's beyond the hay bale, so Aegon will be able to survive it. Now he's got no cars, he's in the field, so he has some utility to make it out of there. I don't know, but Sonic, he's alone. They got the intel. Gonna try and buy some time with them smokes, but Cream, that's gonna be a bunch of kills. Easy to pick up. I don't know how Red Reserve pulled off that rotation, but that is not how you do it.
Yeah, no, it was just, it was in the right direction, figuratively and literally, but it was just a bit weak. Not
on the execution,
right moment, and now they are using a lot of utility to get into a bit of a safer spot, but it's still far from safe as the next circle has indeed shifted away from both of these teams. It's gonna hurt on the phase 4, take damage even more for Red Reserve.
I'm pretty sure this is Red Reserve getting eliminated, like, really soon. Though Cream actually relieve the pressure. The circle shift looking actually pretty harsh away from them, so they've got to try and respond right now. Get a high ground position ASAP. They want to try and commit on that. Aegon, unfortunately, in the fields. Even if he runs there, he doesn't have his car. He got exploded by Cream, so Aegon should be a casualty in this one. But Cream getting the hell out of Hacienda del Patron. That's how you say it.
Thank you very much for that
Welcome.
correction. And I like the
Red
fact
Reserve
that Cream
down.
disengaged. I like the fact that Cream disengaged early on, right? They're thinking of the later game. They're thinking of the fact that with the circle shift, it's already going to be hard enough. They want to try and find a spot inside this circle as quickly as possible as PedjaDBoy. They did well in the previous game, currently in 6th place overall after game 1 with 10 points. Can they continue the trend?
Well, one team that's not going to continue, that's going to be Red Reserve. Just to confirm, they did get eliminated by the Blue Zone in 15th position. So a few extra frags going over, of course, to Cream, none other than them. AK-47 and Throne, they're going to be clashing. But LAKONOSTRA and Cream, this is another fight. Cream, they aim for better position, but some gatekeeping will be getting involved. And Cream, they are getting absolutely denied on that shift. But Marley makes it in, but unfortunately, he's going to get shut down very soon after. Will not be able to hold on to that compound. And the two other members of Cream, they know this is not valuable. Kalimos, going to have to run away with Peko.
I don't know. I feel like they need to really engage on this. Smoke's being thrown out. It's a little bit too flat of a ground that I feel the members of Cream can hold on to. But nice engagement shots from Kalimos to push LAKONOSTRA back even just a little bit.
Yeah, they're trying to buy some time, maybe with that smoke road to allow Reeves to get back, but unfortunately the smoke road will not be enough. And Throne also a few seconds ago got eliminated in 14th position. The kill feed is lighting up. Peko gets headshot. And Cream struggling again. They did not have good position last game. They definitely can't afford another L on Miramar.
You can be on top of the mountain on group stage. You can be on top of the table in semi-finals. But if you're not on top of the table in the finals, it's no good. And Cream will just have to try to do their best. They are, at least inside the circle of this phase 4. But they know they are definitely in danger with a couple of teams around them.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be one of the teams struggling to make it any further. We pan over. Phase 4 closing up. Phase 5 about to show the top of his head. Phantom buying as much time as he can with those smokes. He sees that car over there, but I don't think to get a muscle car when the team that's got you locked down is going to be very valuable. And Cream, they are surrounded. They got LAKONOSTRA. They got AK-47. If they make it out alive, I'll be genuinely surprised.
I think they will for now. I believe they'll be okay. Because with phase 5, the team they're going to have to respond to, they're going to have to be aware. And also, LAKONOSTRA, they know there's a team down the kind of south directly down south. And that third party could come into play if LAKONOSTRA go too aggressively towards Cream.
Would be some intel that we'll have to keep on out. If they do rotate away, that means that Cream will have a nice entry point. But OVN, I said it, right? They moved on early. They left Crater Fields. They understood the value. This is a nice high ground position. That 2-2 split's given so much information and sheer pressure. I like it. But they have to retreat a little bit high up north to make it the circle. Goskilla responding really quickly. I like this.
Oh my god, that circle shift up north.
That's bad.
The remaining member of Hate Gaming just going to be able to hold on to the edge of that cliffside up in the far north. PedjaDBoy still has a full squad. Have a nice entryway with two members already inside, and the teams down south, they're going to have to respond. It's going to be really tough for them to get into the circle at some point.
This is huge for Cream. AK-47, they left, so now they've got potentially a nice rotation point if they got the intel on AK-47 leaving the scene. They're going to get onto the position of now OVN Esports. Will they get denied? They're very close to each other. That means the one nade could be huge, but they fight back in a nice fashion, leaving Frost down on his knees. Novaz is going to have to hold his own position alone. This is unfortunately the weakness of a 1-2 defense, but still, what a close call coming out from Novaz.
Good stuff, but can Victor respond? He has to back off. Reload his gun. He hears shots from all around the AK-47. They'll get the revives needed. Has OVN got a grenade? As LAKONOSTRA and Cream, Elicio got knocked down. Cream are going to claim a point as they make it inside the circle. But look how far out in the open they are as OVN and AK-47 continue to engage on each other.
9 teams remaining, and this circle is going to mess so many up. AK-47, they made it up. They now got to be careful of OVN. They're going to fight for that southwestern entry point to phase 5. Who will make it out on top? But Cream, find some time with those smokes. UDRKILLERS, Goskilla. Goskilla, as I said, rotating really early. And I actually enjoy it because they got these rocks, this terrain, and that shack to use as defensive position. This might be their winning factor in this Miramar match.
And I want to give them credit for being actually so far down south of the circle that they are taking up a lot of space and are pushing teams back. Oh. But Dust gets knocked down by Borean.
Yeah, but unfortunately right now you get pressure because you do not have the high ground. You do cover us a lot of area, but now you're going to have to see Savage X trying to give some coverage with that car to pull off the res. But I'm pretty sure that's going to be a hold on to take on over. And OVN Esport, they get taken down in 9th position. LAKONOSTRA again for a similar rotation we saw earlier for Cream, but Cream made it work out. Can LAKONOSTRA make that one the same? That is a big fat no. They get taken out in 8th position.
AK-47, where have you been all this time? Yeah, they got a 40-bomb game in the group stage. They qualified for the finals, but now they're looking to be on top. But one by one, PedjaDBoy riling their way through.
They can't make it happen. Imperium Vipers left alone. But Pedja, they got the smokes, they got the high ground, and still 40 seconds to spare. And that should be just way more than enough to pull off the res and heal up. Well, now, UDRKILLERS and Cream on the flank of that mountainside. This is the next fight that should be happening because I'm pretty sure that UDRKILLERS, they don't want to go over the lip of that hill. That means that so many teams would have an angle on them to shut them down.
Plus the circle shifted to the east, which has for now given a little bit of relief to Cream. If they can close out UDRKILLERS, they will be able, or at least the 2 members of UDRKILLERS that are down the south zone, that will give them a little bit of relief in terms of pressure. But let's not forget, UDRKILLERS, they're full squad. I don't know why Ulysses and Mark aren't coming in from behind onto the members of Cream, because they have that hill that is protecting them against Goskilla.
I mean, they got position circle, so I understand why they don't want to give it away just yet. So they're going to try and get back to a better position.
Yeah, but look at this. They're allowing Cream to actually stay in the circle. Honestly, that's actually weak play in my opinion. But UDRKILLERS, you want to take out your opponents. You want to take out everybody around you as soon as you can. Yeah, circle position is important, but you keep the teams. If you keep your opponents alive, there's still a chance they're going to third party you.
I was 2 different strategies to play on for. They went for the passive one, which is understandable. But now Cream, can they deal with it? They see Eli, but there you go. He's going to get shut away by Kalimos, none other than him. And UDRKILLERS should be losing that 2-member split pretty soon if they commit. But Cream, no, they only got 2 members. They're not going to get over-aggressive. There's no reason for them to do so. They are aiming mostly for positioning points, not kill points at this stage.
Max, you still have Jaja from Hate Gaming
in
this game. Man, one of the first teams to engage on opponents, and they lost 3 members, but Jaja has done everything he can to keep that good position alive for his side. He can claim the dub. I have no doubt about it. The man has been impressive up until this point all throughout the tournament. He's evolved. He's grown. And by God, this is his chance to get the dub.
We'll be seeing Kalimos and Peko. They finally move in, but there you have it. UDRKILLERS, they're going to be taken down on those 2 members. That means they control the slip of the heel. If the circle shifts down south pretty harshly towards Cream, they could actually protect themselves so easily and secure themselves this win. We'll be seeing some more fights around the board. On the western side, that's going to be actually UDRKILLERS and PedjaDBoys. Only 1 member of PedjaDBoys and 1 member of Hate Gaming. Let's see if they can steal this one away.
That's why you don't give Cream an inch. You're going to take a mile. Take your opponents out. Unfortunately, UDRKILLERS get punished in the process with Cream still as a 2-man squad. 5 teams, 8 players. The circle shifts up north in the favor of Hate Jaja, what the hell is going on? All the while PedjaDBoy still has a full squad, can do some work.
Yeah, but now Cream, they're applying the pressure, they're raining it down, and they're doing some work. And now, Jaja just coming in at the end and shutting down Goskilla. They take 5th position overall. And now Cream, they are dictating what happens in this game. It will be a 2v2v1v1. PedjaDBoy and Hate Gaming, they're going to let the fight happen. So far with UDRKILLERS, and then they're going to try and steal it away.
Also, my apologies. I thought there was a full squad of PedjaDBoy. There's only one player left standing. But okay, Cream Esports are doing pretty good, but they have to wrap around to make it in the circle. If they've heard the shots, if they've seen the kill feed, they know they have a lot of space on the north, and that's exactly what they're doing. Really nice rotational play, intelligent stuff from Cream, but UDRKILLERS, they have a high ground. They could punish Cream if they get spotted out.
But they have no information on the 2 rattlesnakes of Miramar, which are Aris and Jaja. Aris tries to do his best out of it, and you know that Nano really wants that one frag to try and control the area, but Cream, they're already encircling Imperium, and that rotation will be saving their life. Jaja trying to jump around. Will it be enough? I'm not too sure. Kalamos is down. Will they get the second member, which is Pecco? I'm not too sure, but Sandro going to confirm it. Of course, every kill you can get will have an influence on your overall standings.
Yeah, confirm it. Take the point. 5 kills now for UDRKILLERS. Let's see what they can make it up. 4th place after game 1 in the overall standings. With game 2, that's going to be another consistent play for this team as we're down to 3. We did lose Hate Gaming, unfortunately. PedjaDBoy, Cream, and UDRKILLERS are left.
Yep, Hate Gaming, that's a 4th position, so we'll be seeing how many frags actually got an engagement, but there you go, they see Pecco, Cream will take 3rd, but that's definitely a really big improvement on game number 1. And now he's going to leave Aris alone, having to take this 1v2. He has that card. This will be huge for him to take, potentially this win away. He was trying to explode it to give him some coverage. This is good. This is smart. This is how you play it. They're chucking some mollies, chucking potentially some nades. They want to use all the utility they can, so they don't have to actually face versus Ares to actually take a 1v2.
The circle is in the favor of Ares. Oh, nice! Peak shots come down from Ares. But the flank around from Sandro. That could be the thorn in the side. That could be the win for UDRKILLERS. But he's taking his time. He's really trying to feel out the footsteps. Get any kind of idea of where Ares is as Ares backs off little by little.
This is how you play it. When you have the man advantage versus only one member, you spread yourself a little bit thinly, but like that you can't cover 2 angles at the same time when you are a one-man army. And they know it. Ares knows it, so he's trying to be a little bit cautious, trying to look at different positions at the same time, but this is going to be extremely hard for him to actually take, while Sandro going lower and lower, and here it is, they're going to commit. Nano got to communicate to attack at the exact same time, but Nano's going to go for the first engagement, and he doesn't get it, but then the engagement coming from the last member, which is Sandro, the 1v1, who will get it? Sandro put extremely low, it's coming down to the 1v1, there's about 10 HP remaining, and it will be going over to UDRKILLERS.
Oh my god, that shouldn't have gotten as hairy as it was. Ares did such an amazing job. Took down, of course, Nano. Knocked him down. Wasn't able to confirm the kill. Prone back down. Got a lot of shots onto Sandro. Both the remaining 2 players were on literally less than 20 health. But at the end of the day, Ares got taken down and UDRKILLERS will get the chicken dinner with 7 kills. PedjaDBoy is 7th with also 7 kills. And Cream, hey, look, they kept on going. What did I talk about? Cream always seemed to stay in this game 3rd place with 9 kills.
Yep, they did it. They got their very first good game. But I have to say, I want to talk about this a little bit, but UDRKILLERS, that was a little bit of a mistake at the end. That was so close. When you were going to take the first shot, when they got the information on where he was currently located, you should have said, okay, 1, 2, 3, engage, but they went one by one, and it could have got stolen away so quickly by PedjaDBoy. Luckily enough, that did not happen, but for the next games, hopefully, they'll be able to communicate a little bit further in these last final engagements.
Totally agree, totally agree. Yeah, just that tiny little kind of tiny miscommunication nearly went against
I'm being nitpicky here, okay?
Yeah, no, and I totally agree with that nitpickiness, to be perfectly honest. Hate Gaming, 4th place, Red Reserve getting an unfortunate result in 15th place. It was hard with those circle shifts at times, and then Elevate in last place with only 3 kills. Like, you know, we are seeing such a turnaround from the group stages and the semis. Like, the only time we ever really saw the likes of UDRKILLERS and PedjaDBoys remotely, like, kind of close to the top was when they had games in hand. Other than that, the two teams have kind of struggled to qualify to this stage, but now that they're here, they're taking advantage of it, and I commend both their teams for it.
I mean, PedjaDBoy's putting off a PedjaDBoy here. They made a little bit of a comeback. They got the points that they needed. Hopefully, they can be consistent, because you know them, at the start of the tournament, they don't do great, and then at the end, they start waking up and to just barely qualify. Barely qualifying will not make the cut, unfortunately, to move over to the regional finals and even get that #1 spot. This is not going to be enough from them. They don't have, like, they can't rest. They need to pull off these kind of games consistently throughout the entirety of this weekend. If they do that, PedjaDBoys, I said it, they can be a really big underdog in these finals.
But let's not forget, after 2 games, they're already at an advantage. Why? Because the real deal, what, finished 10th.
Yeah.
You know, next finished in... What, next finished in, like...
not too sure.
13th. You know, Cream have only really gotten one half-decent result. Hate Gaming are lucky to have gotten kind of one half-decent result. Yeah, okay, definitely PedjaDBoys need to continue, but for them to make such an impact at the start of the finals, when it's only 8 games, it's only 8 games, Max. 2 days, 8 games. That's setting themselves up to really get into the top 4. I'm not saying they're going to be on the top spot, but to be in the top 4, they can't really be doing much better.
I mean, when you only have 8 games, one bad game is going to influence your scoreline, but also one really good game will also have a really positive impact. So you've got to keep that in mind, keep the positive vibes coming. I'm sure it'll be fine. But with that said, that was Miramar. Congratulations to UDRKILLERS. Secured himself a 3rd position on Erangel and a 2nd position, chicken dinner, sorry, on Miramar. Off to a great start for them. Can't wait to see what they can do on game number 3, which will be, this time, really and truly on Sanhok. We'll be seeing you guys in a few minutes for the jungle action. See you there. Welcome back. Thanks so much for waiting. And now I can truly say, welcome to the jungle. We'll be jumping on Sanhok for our third game of the day. Two first games were actually really surprising for a few of these squads. And we're going to check out the standings in Imperium. But oh my god, I was not expecting after these two games, like these standings to be so shuffled up.
Hey, look, you know, it's like I said during the Miramar game, you can be first in the group stage, you can be first in the semi-finals, but if you're not performing and you're not first place in the finals, it kind of means jack all. You know, we speculated, we've talked about the teams that have looked strongest, but at the end of the day, after two games, they've not performed how they should. Yeah, okay, Cream got a great result in game 2 after what was a rough start for them, and with the circle shifts, they got 9 kills. But when you're looking at the overall standings, UDRKILLERS, 2 games, 40 points. What is that right now? That's an average of 20 points per game. Yes, that is going to drop as we get through the games in the finals, but you know, starting off strong and dripping down is kind of the best these teams can ask for.
I mean, UDRKILLERS in the semi-finals, they were in 13th position with 76 points. And they, like, already in 2 games alone, made, like, more than double than what they made during the entirety of the semi-finals. So UDRKILLERS, I don't know what's happening, pulling off an OVNEsport on us, pulling off a PedjaDBoy on us. Like, then the real deal, PedjaDBoy, Goskilla. None of the 4 teams we speculated to be up there are there just yet. It's only 2 games, that's sure. I might be talking a little bit early. Next are right behind. They're still in 5th position, still looking pretty damn good. But this is a big shift from what we were speculating.
Did you know that, like, UDRKILLERS and PedjaDBoy, you mentioned their finishing position in the semi-finals, 13th and 14th respectively. Their average points per game was 7.6 and 7.4 per game. And the most amount, and the points they finished on was 76 and 74. Right now, after 2 games, they're between 2/3 and a half of that.
Oh my god, they are doing so good. Proud of the boys. We'll be seeing Imperium. Sanhok is coming our way. Of course, today we had a little bit of a shift on the schedule. It was Erangel, then Miramar, so the 2 biggest maps right off the bat, and now we're going to the smallest, being a 4x4. Hopefully not going to have some too intensive early game action. I'm just hoping to not see any teams try and contest Cream on Paradise Resort, because most of the time, that does not go well for the opposing side.
Well, and here's the thing, like, if I was to say any of the maps was the most unpredictable, I would say Sanhok. I've always said that. However, after the first 2 games we've had, I don't know if we can actually predict anything anymore, Max. Really? Like, did you predict this kind of standings after 2 games? Did you predict
the predictable becomes unpredictable?
Circle on game 1? No, I didn't at all. It's been completely turned around, and that means that Sanhok is just going to get crazy exciting. And like I said, every team for itself.
Don't go full potato. I think the cameraman knew that you were watching there. It was like, oh, that's for Imperium. Don't go full potato. And that is what we are hoping of all these squads, of course. As they're going to be jumping around. They're having fun right now, but the fun's about to end abruptly. As Sanhok, you know, going to get messed up pretty fast. Want to see Red Reserve. Are they still going to go and aim for this area known as Boot Camp? Throne, they're here. And we're going to see if they're going to try and contest it.
Who knows, Throne? Normally, they would have been pushed away from the locations that Red Reserve have held on to, but this is Sanhok. These are the finals. Anything can happen. We could see the 2 teams contest Boot Camp all the while. Playing trajectory going on the south from the east to the west. Like we know, it's the smallest map. It is pretty easy to get to everywhere you want to go.
Yeah. Not going to be hurting any of these squads. And we're going to see Elevate. They like to go for their coastal line in the south. Hopefully not going to get contested away. AK-47 not going in the same direction. Towards Same. Hopefully that's not going to end up in a fight. One of them will have to retreat anyways.
Plus, we're not seeing MVP go directly to Painan. They did, and we're actually seeing Hate Gaming go to Painan.
They never go there.
Hate Gaming didn't really go there. It was always kind of Terror and MVP. But now Hate have kind of overtaken that spot, and we are seeing Throne with Red Reserve in Boot Camp.
They'll be going there. Of course, they're going to be fighting up early. Hopefully, they'll be able to split across the road and not actually end up going fully pledged into a fight. Next, they'll be holding, as always, to this cross river section to rotate. We'll have to see how this phase 1 is going to go. If it's rewarding or not, they can hold on to it. Hopefully, they won't rotate like they did last few times. You can scout, that's fine, but don't move if the phase 1 circle doesn't oblige you to leave that cross river section.
Just waiting for this all-elusive phase 1. Normally in Sanhok, we see it down in the southwest. Sometimes up in the northwest. It's rarely kind of on the east slash the mainland confidently. But
I think we had it once.
Some crazy circles. Yeah, we've had it once, but either way, we've seen some crazy circles. And yeah, right now these teams would just like to loot up, and it is, at least for now, shifting up in the northwest.
This is perfect for next. There you go. These are the kind of circles you don't have to leave the cross river section. Team Dope, they got a big split happening on the western coastal line. They can try and even aim for the mountain if they want to. I think that would be a pretty valuable one, as long as they rotate away from it when needed, if phase 2 or phase 3 messes you up on that position. But Throne, there you go, fighting up. Miramahr trying to just dance between bullets and actually working to some good amount of success. He makes it to the trees a little bit higher up. And he's put a little bit lower once more, but Miramahr will survive it and able to move away from boot camp.
Kind of fear for Red Reserve, to be perfectly honest. They need a really good result. They can't rely on that one map, Vikendi, where they're strongest on. They need to perform in every other map, in every other game, if they are going to get into the top 4. I've talked to them about boot camp and how they pushed Thrown back. However, just one time they did win against them, but now it's a real deal. Do take down a member of MVP that did split drop.
Yep, unfortunately, split dropping is not always going to be rewarding. The only way you want to try and split drop is if you're on a coastal line, because you can be a little bit more, thinly spread, and you won't get attacked from the backside. As always, we keep on saying it, but you just got to focus on 180 degrees of land in front of you, which makes it a lot easier, which is what Team Dope are doing. So if you want to split drop, you do it like Team Dope. It's very safe.
I also feel this circle will be pretty good for OVN as well, who like this split drop on that north side by the river, kind of outside Paradise / Tap Mock. It will be important that they do join together relatively early in phase 1 as the blue zone starts closing in, because teams will kind of automatically rotate further and closer to the center of the circle.
Get a Miramahr came back over. Okay. He got away from boot camp. Now he went back into boot camp. Not sure what the global idea was there, but at least they made it back. And this 2-2 split from Red Reserve is putting so much pressure, like passive pressure, upon Throne. They knew they had to retreat. They could not hold the U-formed, shaped building in the middle, which they usually do. And this is definitely not their comfort zone. And Miramahr going to come in with a nade. Will it come out?
But here's the thing, Throne are also kind of split drop, and they do have other angles. So honestly, this isn't exactly confidently in Red Reserve side, but the third party, which we do see in Sanhok, has gone against Throne for now.
Yep, they did kind of turn their backs to the squad, and now they're going to go for the engage, because they saw the kill feed. They know there's none who else would drop on boot camp, so of course we're going to commit. We got the man advantage. Coming out with the QBZ, unfortunately not to any big amount of success for Lexa. He will be the first member down and actually secured away, and this means that Throne are down to 2. Hopefully he won't get in the path of MVP Gaming. Ked, you got to be a little bit careful, but now they understood. I mean, this is good, kill feed analysis.
Well, it's simply good reaction from Red Reserve, and also they will have that informational advantage knowing that MVP are close by, so they will not be looking to engage too heavily on Throne. Plus, unlike we saw in the previous Sanhok game in the semi-finals, I don't think we will see other teams rotate into boot camp unless, let's say, phase 2 or phase 3 shifts heavily in that direction.
We'll have to see. Well, now Throne, they don't really know how to deal with this situation, which I do understand. They're kind of pinched. At least the circle is on the area of boot camp, so they're not going to get pressured by that also. They just got to focus down on these teams. They can focalize on it for the time being while Cream rotating in the distance away from Paradise Resort, which they usually do really quickly after they looted, because rotating late away from Paradise Resort is not an easy feat. It's always something really harsh to do because it's downhill. You have very little like rocks and trees to hide behind, so they always put it off with an easy and fast rotation, which I think is great for Cream. It works out perfectly.
Yeah, plus they know that they won't want to go too close to actually the coastal line on that river because teams will already be there. So, yeah, you're dead right. Disengaging away from Paradise early on will help them. But KZS, he can really do nothing, to be perfectly honest. Right now, he's got no medkits. He's got no heals. It's just a matter of trying to find the perfect opportunity.
They were just really avoiding to give their position away. Nice jump shot from Kid, and Aegon will be the come to get it. And he's going to be wiping out the entire squad. Aegon carrying it in that one. And that's going to be, unfortunately, their squad of Throne eliminated in 16th position. We didn't see them much on Game 1 or Game 2. And Game 3, unfortunately, it's going to be the same. It's going to be very redundant.
Man, I don't know if Throne will be looking to chase against Red Reserve in tomorrow's set of games. I'll tell you that much. That will put them firmly in their places. Red Reserve climb through this Sanhok game with 4 kills as dope Bazzi knocks down Ulysses with a shotgun, no least.
Yeah, actually surprisingly, actually paid up in such an open, flat area. But now, Bazzi trying to buy some time, wants to heal up, but he's allowing now the rest to come on through. I would say don't take the fight really if you can afford it, but now that he's got actually backup, this is actually pretty good. He denies the res away, they give the intel, they know it, this nade looks actually pretty good. And there you go, it's a bullseye for Bazzi.
Bullseye for Bazzi, 180 as he gets 2 kills for his side. Of course, UDRKILLERS right now in the top spot. They can't, in theory, you know, they can get away with one bad result, but they don't want to do it in day one, no least, as Warlords rotated also down close to boot camp, a little bit closer than I thought they would, to be perfectly honest, in the warehouses outside them.
Yeah, they took the position of Red Reserve out a little bit earlier when they dropped, so they're going to have that. The nose uncontested. It's pretty hard to breach the area, at least from the south. Northern side could still happen, but we know that OVN, they don't play too aggressive, so the chances of them actually breaching on the warehouses of Bootcamp are pretty slim. So Team Warlords, they set up for success, at least for this first phase, and they're central too, so phase 2 should still have them in their vicinity.
Oh, my lord. My lord, my lord, my lord. I'm honestly, here's the thing, like, I just don't know what's gonna happen, Max. I really don't. I'm thinking I'm going, okay, I think this is gonna happen. This team is gonna take out that team. But after 2 games so far, anything is possible more than ever. Cream, they need to bounce back more heavily. Red Reserve, they need to bounce back. All the while, the likes of Goskilla, next PedjaDBoy's real deal. UDR, they just need to kind of just continue as they have from these first 2 games.
They don't require to go aggressively. They don't require to like get extra kill points to like make up for their 2 first games, because their 2 first games were pretty decent. So they just got to keep on cruising through. They'll make it out while PedjaDBoys, they get scouted out by Goskilla. They don't want to give it up. They got 4th position on game 1 on Erangel. They were off to a great start. They got 5th position on Miramar. Can they make also really good top 5 position on Sanhok? I mean, it's a little bit more in the air in terms of positioning on Sanhok because it's really hard to predict, as we said earlier at the start.
Savage X got knocked down. The smoke's going out by the members of Goskilla because PedjaDBoys are at a distance. They won't really be able to confirm that kill, but it will put Goskilla a little bit on the back front of them disengaging a bit more, being a little bit passive. And it gives right now an advantage in the head, in the mindset of PedjaDBoys, but the real deal, they could be third party.
I don't think they're going to go overly aggressive. I mean, they started off with a chicken dinner, you know, they got themselves 10 kills in that game too. They had a good start. And I don't think that going overly aggressive when it's not necessary is not going to happen. And also, they aimed a lot more in positioning on their angle, which is something they don't usually do. They like to go aggressive when needed, but there they took it pretty calm, even though they did get 10 kills, which doesn't really, you know, show that they went pretty passive. But they aimed for position, and when the kill was in front of them, I mean, they took it.
They did take it indeed. We are about to see where phase 2 will go. I'd love to see it go towards the mainland, Max. Shift east. put the teams under a little bit less pressure. The majority of the teams are already in the mainland. There's a surprising amount wrapped around boot camp. You see that cluster, and that's what I like to see. What would be a really clean spot to hold on to, especially for AK-47, maybe even the real deal to backtrack onto, is that compound to the west of Quarry. Really nice. It's high ground. It overlooks a lot of teams.
I'm so surprised as to like these teams that potentially has done VOD reviews, seen what is happening on these Sanhok games, and OVN, once again, like every single game, they have such of the easiest early phases in the world you could ask for on Sanhok. They're always up north, no teams contesting it. There's enough room for like 2 up to even potentially 3 teams, but yet with all the VOD review happening, no teams aim for that position, which I think is like by its own a mistake, like a global mistake here, because you want to avoid the early game fights, especially on Sanhok.
But remember what you said about not wanting to disengage away from Paradise Resort too late because you're going downhill. That's why there can tend to be a gap in between OVN up in the north and the teams down south, because you don't really want to be in those spots. So being in OVN's position, leaving it late to rotate, that's okay because it gives them more of an advantage where teams aren't going to be looking behind them. So I think that's why there is that space in a lot of these games for OVN.
I think there's still a lot of room to play with, but what we see in anyways, OVN, they should be able to rotate pretty swiftly. Well, the real deal, they gave up their compound. I mean, they're trying to aim for a better position, as we do know. That's what they did on Erangel. That's what allowed them to secure their first chicken dinner in the finals. Keep on shifting, and I want to see where Phase 3 might be taking us, because you still got that Cross River section in play. Some hard shifts could still happen, but you're pretty sure at this point that like 80% of the chance they will be shifting over to the mainland, so you can start to predict a little bit more and take a gamble on your positions.
Honestly, after game 1, I don't know if that is too predictable, but Next being punished by Red Reserve, who did rotate from that kind of triangular spot on the corner to the mainland outside boot camp. 2 members knocked down, but it is from a distance. One team that I do want to look out for is Hate Gaming, who rotated from Painan up on top of the hill overlooking boot camp.
Next, they were in the same... Like, this is actually pretty familiar circle. This is almost the same we had actually yesterday on our Sanhok game. Shifted over to the cliff next to boot camp on the west. And this time he will not be held over by Red Reserve. This time he's going to be next to will be holding that position. But not too many teams are actually on the northwestern island. So that means there's not too much to hold on to. And they can just focalize their attention over to the boot camp and the areas surrounding it.
True. LAKONOSTRA and Team Dope are the only 2 teams right now to be on that northwest island. So they could come in and possibly third party Next. But Next, at least right now, we're kind of rotating up northwards from that coastal line overlooking boot camp, trying to find a better position, knowing that they've had 2 members knocked down at the hands of Red Reserve already.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty passive early game stage. We did have one team get taken out, of course, as we did mention earlier. But this is a lot more passive than what we might, expect of a Sanhok game. And I think it's because these teams, of course, they understand like the weight of these games, and also they've been a lot more respectful. Like, they see a team in the distance, they're not going to aim for it. Whereas sometimes maybe in a group stage or the semi-finals, like, okay, sure, I'll go for it. It's just a fight now. You turn it, it's just a fight into it's just a game. Out of 8 games, 1 out of 8, and that's a pretty big portion. So we're not going to take our odds lightly, and we're going to try and aim as positionally and as passively as we possibly can.
You're dead right, Max, man. Just play for the late game. At the end of the day, this is a battle royale, and it is about survival. Of course, being able to frag out, being able to get those kills will always have an impact in the points in the standings. We've seen it in group stages and semi-finals, but there's no kind of bottom 8 that are going to go out. It's all about getting into the top 4 in the overall standings after these 8 games in total in the finals. But as we see Phase 3, it's shifted up north, and that's where we see OVN now rotating to the compounds outside Paradise Resort. Yeah,
such an easy game for them up north. There's even few compounds to secure, like even for 1 or 2 extra teams. So we'll have to see if some will understand the value of that position and try and potentially aim up to rotate up north. And also, all the teams that won the northwestern island, that could be a good entry point. Like, we saw a few teams do that actually, and it did work out to a big amount of success. You just wrap around. If you have to swim a little bit or take the northern bridge, you can do that, but wrap around on the north, because you know that all the teams are going to be around with all the compounds surrounding boot camp.
Yeah, dead right. If I was LAKONOSTRA or Team Dope, I would definitely shift a little bit more up north rather than going directly easterly across the river. Maybe even look to hit that tiny little island in between the Northwest Island and the mainland and stay pretty safe from there. A team that are also coming in from the far north are UDRKILLERS. They could have an impact. They will look to wrap around possibly Paradise Resort, come in from the northeast, and hopefully have an impact for them.
Do hope so for them, of course. We'll be seeing how this will be going, but only a few more seconds. 5 seconds to be exact, and here we go. Phase 3 is going to be closing up, while the real deal, of course, holding the angles, not taking shots if they are unsure of how you can actually the fight to a good chance. AK-47 just going to be allowed to move on 3. Not going to be able to do too much, of course, but I'm hoping to see AK-47 coming in hot with another 20-kill bomb. We only had one 20-kill bomb so far. Only one.
And they are the team with the highest amount of points in one individual game. 40 in total. Team I want to look out for, and I hope we do get a pan over, is Elevate. They rotated late from the south side, but they are definitely going a little bit more of a direct straight route through Painan up on the hill, and I fear that might go against them because it's a little bit too kind of laterally. There's not enough flexibility to that rotation from Elevate.
We're going to be seeing LAKONOSTRA. They got the information on next, trying to fight for that cliff section. We'll be seeing if it will result in anything big happening, man. Seeing on my minimap too, we're seeing OVN actually shifting down south a little bit more centrally, because I know that playing Edge of Circle mid-game is very harsh. So even though they had a passive early game, now they understand they're going to have to get involved in these fights. They're going to have to try and cross sections with some of these squads eventually. While Zuku going to get sprayed upon by Jar Jar. And that's going to be their very first kill in this game. He sees Will too, sees a pixel out of place. Will, maybe not a fight you want to take, especially knowing you do not have the high ground.
This is what I talked about with Elevate. It was just too basic of a rotation from Elevate.
Basic? Wow.
No, just the rotation was basic. They should know that Hate like to land in Painan. They should know that with the circle they were going to be up the north side, and that's just bad thinking from Elevate.
Yeah, they're going to struggle, but the two other members, Class and Pocus, they got a nice southern position in the circle. So even though those two with that 2-2 split, they still make the most out of it. This is why you pull off 2-2 splits, to keep the hopes of your team alive despite losing one of your portion of your squad. So they make it out. Hey, Gaming control a really good section actually of this area. Not really contested. Team Dope might get involved with them pretty soon, but so far, if they hold on to this position for the next phase, they should be pretty safe.
Yeah, but if the circle stay down south, that's not going to be too bad for Hate, but in my opinion, they will want to go down that hill to those small houses just outside boot camp, because if they have to go more downhill in the next phase, that will hurt them heavily. Although I want to know, how are Red Reserve going to hold off all the teams around them? They could get punished from all angles if they go too close to comfort, but right now they can wait it out, let the teams around them take each other out, and maybe pick off a kill here or there. Still 15 teams and 53 players max.
What you usually see on like these kind of mid-stage bootcamp finishes, teams aim for those positions early on. So Elevate, Red Reserve, what they can do is actually retract themselves when teams push on them and just hold a segment of bootcamp, not the entirety. I think right now they're too split. I think they've got to try and hold like maybe 2 or 3 buildings that are in the same area, like that you don't get naded too easily, and also you don't get pressured by too many teams, and you don't split too thinly. I think that would be the best way.
However, you don't want to allow two main teams to get inside bootcamp. It's
going to happen.
And yeah, it is going to happen now. Good stuff by Next onto LAKONOSTRA, getting that knockdown with the grenade. As Anari inside, burn, burn, burn! It's a ring of fire for Anari.
I like it was just then, and he's like, I'm fine. This is fine. The dog meme, like, this is fine. I'm fine here.
No, it's fine.
But they're going to make their best team, Warlords. They want to defend their warehouse. They got some valuable goods here, and it's too valuable for them to give it up over their dead body. But Nori going to try his best, but unfortunately, it will not be working out at all. The birthday buff that they had on their team the other day has been wearing off, and Nori will get flushed away by the Uzi of Dale.
Good stuff. Warlords currently find themselves at the bottom of the standings with only 2 points in 2 games. So they need all that they can get in this Sanhok game.
We'll have to really keep an eye out for phase 5. It could really mess up most positions in this game. And the nades galore coming out from OVN. Going to be claiming that shack of backfire. He's going to put on his knees. Team Warlord, I'm pretty sure they don't want to commit too many cross sections on that segment. They'll have to give it up. But LAKONOSTRA, I said it, now teams are going to aim for position into boot camp. And Red Reserve, they're going to be very cautious of being able to retreat while also applying some significant pressure.
Although smokes gives you that cover, it also exposes the fact that there could be somebody rotating in that direction.
Shows you intention, yeah.
That's exactly how Red Reserve have looked at that, as Victor is inside the warehouse from OVN. Could they third party a little bit onto the members of Warlords?
PedjaDBoys, they want a third party this one. The blue is moving up on them, and now this is great. OVNEsport, by rotating so early, they're not getting denied. Now they are controlling how this northern side actually phases through. OVN have to move back. We've got an AUG coming out from Frost. This is a great weapon to hold on to, but now they're getting cornered. They're trying their best. There you go. Mamula, can you make it work out? Flushes out one kill. This will be really valuable for them, but PedjaDBoys, this might be the end of their story. And Victor doing some great work. The blue zone is ticking and ticking, and PedjaDBoys have to heal up against it, but this is not going good for them.
Frost holding on. He's got the orb in his hand. And that's going to be the end. I believe a Warlord is next. Hold on. The circle did shift down south. It's on the cusp of boot camp on the east side. Cream hold on to a strong position as OVN looking to take down the final member of PedjaDBoy.
We'll be seeing, but where PedjaDBoys unfortunately will not be able to out-heal the blue zone. The blue zone is now closing up. OVNEsport, they got to run. Sonic sounds coming in. Let's go. We're going to make it through, while also next they have to do the exact same of rotation. Hopefully they will not shoot each other across this one, but Red Reserve, they're not letting that rotation happen. Oh, no. And they're going to shut down team next.
All the while down in the southeast, you have the real deal going up against AK-47. Hackshot, the Westmeath Irish player, getting the engagement that they need, but holding on behind the tree. You got Dexter left, but down goes AK-47.
Yep, AK-47 out in 12th. They're not going to be having extra positioning points for this one. Unfortunately, the Red Reserve, they're doing such a good job controlling this area, despite having so many teams aiming for the exact same goal of getting a nice area to defend on boot camp, and they got already 7 kills, aiming even for 8, I believe. Now OVN, they made it through. They crossed the road. They can snake it out. But this circle, I think, is potentially going to mess up a lot if it does shift away from boot camp. Let's keep an eye out for it. Well, next, slowly bleeding out, and there you go. They get taken out in 11th position, finally down to top 10, and the circle in 2 shifts away from boot camp.
Oh, Sonic got confirmed by OVN. The thorn in the side, but I gotta say, Red Reserve have still done what they need to do if they can get into the top 5 and add those placement points that will help them as hate onto MVP.
Oh my god, some nades would be huge. Militia and Lewon, you got the information. If they can try and nade it, that'll be great, but unfortunately there's a team right behind them, and it's actually the real deal, denying that nade for coming through. But now Hate Gaming, they know, they pull off the res, and no, why are you going through the window? That's not going to work out. You can't shoot when you're going through the window, and he's just going to flush it out. Lakon is going to be a little bit overwhelmed, but Steel is doing some good work. He gets a second. Now having 2 members of Hate Gaming to focalize on, he gets the information with a third-person perspective, having to try and buy as much time. He wants to confirm those valuable points, but they're coming from the other side, and Necron will get shut down, but the flush will not be able to happen. Navi's got to make it back to pull off the res in that shack.
Honestly, that's the best MVP could have asked for, to be perfectly honest. Real great play at the end of the day by Necron inside that little shack. But as the circle is closing in, Cream have to disengage away. They've got Goskilla in front of them. There's MVP and Hate Gaming in their own little fight. And now OVN onto Red Reserve. They take them out. We're down to 5 teams.
Red Reserve, they gave the little corner that was still in the blue, and they left it open. OVN, they took that opportunity and shut down Red Reserve in 6. VP Gaming, though, unfortunately down to only 1 member. This is not looking grand, but at least he's got a building to hold on to, so he can just peek and fire, and he does exactly that on Albie, and instantly confirms they're up to 3 kills so far, and they're looking for more. But Hate Gaming, they want that compound for themselves, as Goskilla are out in 4th position.
We've just lost Cream. We've just lost Goskilla. Now we're down to Hate, MVP, and OVN. And I tell you what, with MVP and Hate taking each other out, OVN could come in and steal the chicken dinner.
I mean, OVN, they got to cross not only a road, but a cross-section of the road, and also did some flat area behind. Was only a few trees. But MVP Gaming and Hate Gaming, they're just so focused on each other, I don't even think they can even just start to think and imagine OVNEsport trying to cross through. But we'll see, as now Lewon put extremely low. Hate Gaming, they know it. They got the hit markers, and they're going to try and end the fight right now, while OVN trying to snake their way slowly but surely towards this compound.
They'll have heard the shots, they'll have seen their kill feed. They know the longer this game goes on, the more hate and MVP go at each other, the better chance OVN will get of taking this chicken dinner. Hate Gaming, they held a good game in Miramar. They want to follow suit. Currently 8th place overall with 16 points. But OVN, they're on 6 kills so far in the Sanhok game. Snaking through. Gonna find a kill, but no, not before Navi finds one member.
Navi wants a piece, but OVN, this is their map. This is their home. They have been showing up great performances throughout the scrims, and they're doing it once more. At least get minimum 3rd position. But Hate Gaming, you gotta give them props. They got 6 kills, minimum 3rd position. This is gonna be a nice comeback for these 2 first games where they did struggle a little bit more than normal. But Frost, not even behind a tree. He's actually pushing very front forward.
But he's taken away his backpack. He's stripping himself clean.
Ooh.
All he needs is 1 to 2 clips to get the kills needed. 3 teams, 5 players. Lure one just holding out as Jaja.
Don't jump in, please don't.
Go across the window. Lure one is not moving. He's not missing a beat as Jaja and Hate go through. He's seeing Lure one, but Lure one reacts. Frost from behind knocks down Navy. Now it's just Jaja left standing in this triangular play.
The unofficial alliance coming out between MVP Gaming and OVN is working absolute wonders, and it will end up in a 1v1v1. But Victor, he's still valuable. He gives some information. He knows exactly where Jaja's position. And Frost, because of that intel, he's going to come in and just pick up that 1 kill. Turn into now potentially a 1v1, but Leon will allow that rest to come on through, and this will be back to a 1v2. Will it? No, will it? Oh my god, don't scare me like that, little one. I thought he was going to get out. That was very close by, but Victor now is going to make it through. He's in the blue. He's only have a corner, and he's going to have to force out. MVP Gaming, unfortunately, not in a great situation. He's waiting for the spray to end before he can actually go for the engage, but they want to be the first one to pull the trigger. They want to control this late game stage, Imperium, and OVN are not leaving any room to breathe over to Leon of MVP Gaming. He gets the first initial knockdown. Pick extremely low. Will he have time to raise back up? Frost, this is a risk. Are you going to take the gamble to engage it? He will, and there you have it. OVNEsport taking up the chicken dinner on their one favorite map.
MVP are the MVPs of that game. Honestly, they fought, they took out. What a game from MVP. When we talk about OVN, how they rotate from the north down to the south, cleanly, smoothly, on their own. They make it count. They took down Red Reserve. That's all they needed to climb in and take the chicken dinner.
Oh my god, I'm so proud. Like, OVNEsport, we know this is a team that's extremely comfortable on Sanhok. They played passive, they dropped passive early on until like phase 3-4, where they understood that this circle's not looking too good. We have to aim centrally. We have to go close to boot camp, and then when they did that, they controlled whatever teams were going. They denied whatever team was it. They denied PedjaDBoys on a rotation to the warehouse. They shut down a few members of Next, shut down a few members of Team Warlords, and then they gatekeeped the area of boot camp away from Red Reserve. Red Reserve that dropped there from the very start because those rotations were so on point. Whoever's doing the IGL of OVN, I'm not sure who it is, but whoever does that, I gotta say, you're an absolute master of the game.
We'll have to ask Agatha, their team manager, that provides so much support for this team. She will be absolutely smiling in pride for the result that's come out from OVN. But the team that has benefited the most from that game is Goskilla. 4th place with, I think, 4 kills, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 6. Strong result. They were already lying in 4th. PedjaDBoy ahead of them got a bad result. Next didn't get a super impressive result behind them. Either did the Real Deal or UDRKILLERS. That consistency, although without getting a chicken dinner so far, will pay off for Goskilla.
Goskilla, like you're talking about it, these 3 first games, that is 3 top 5s in a row. They get already 4th position, 5th position, and now they get 4th position again. Sure, it's not a chicken dinner, but they're there. And you just got to get top 4 to make it over to the regional finals to have another shot at going to the World League West. This is the team that I think has a chance of being the underdog of the finals.
But here's the thing. Look, you know, at the end of the day, you still need to get the chicken dinner. You do. Honestly, I'm sorry. I'm all for consistency. But when there's only 8 games, you need to be impactful. Yeah, we've seen Cream, Next, even in some way Red Reserve struggle in the first 3 games, and you could even say OVN. But at the end of the day, we know Cream, Next, and Red Reserve can climb out of that hole and get a 27 to 35 point game just like that, and that will knock the likes of OVN and Goskilla back in the standings when that does happen.
Well, there you have it. That is Sanhok in the books for day 1 of the finals. Quick little recap before we do go for a short break. Game 1 in Erangel was for the real deal. Sanhok was for UDRKILLERS, and this game on game on Miramar. Yeah, because like we had a little bit mixed up earlier. The game on Miramar was won by UDRKILLERS, and then this Sanhok game won by OVNEsport. With 1 more game still remaining, we'll be having a little bit of a refreshment on Vikendi. We'll be back shortly. Myself and Imperium will be going for a break and ready to take you through the last game of day 1 of the European Finals. See you there. See you. Be square. Just be there. Okay? If you're not there, I'm gonna get mad, and Imperium too. So you better be here. Okay? See you there. Game 4 on Vikendi is upon us, and also what is upon us is the last game of day 1 of the European Finals. Great set of games so far. Really enjoyed it. Chicken dinner for the real deal, for UDRKILLERS, for OVNEsport. Some teams that are not in the top 4 that we speculated at the start of the day. Some big upsets and some teams that are just completely outdoing themselves, becoming the underdogs of the tournament. And I just can't wait to see what this 4th game is going to be bringing us on Vikendi Imperium.
It's crazy. When you look at the overall standings, like, okay, the real deal, honestly, even though as crazy as the games have been, I'm not surprised at where they are, because I put them as a team that could get the job done. And when you looked at the semis, like, they hadn't gotten a chicken dinner in the semis, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, like, they have already kind of outdone themselves in some way. They've already kind of gotten that chicken dinner that they craved in the semi-finals and coming into the finals in first place. But the good thing for us is that as we're seeing teams kind of claw their way back, we are seeing the points distribution get a lot closer. So instead of after game 2, there was that difference. Now, between first place, the real deal, and 9th place, the next, that's only like 14 points. That's
one game. That's one good game.
Yeah.
So it really is all in the air as to what team will take it. The real deal on UDRKILLERS on the same exact amount of points. But I like how, like, the start of the broadcast, you both mentioned, like, one underdog. You talked about Goskilla. I talked about PedjaDBoy. And those 2 underdog teams, they're in top 4.
Oh, yeah.
Potentially the end of day 1, which is absolutely huge. You're 50% done and you're in that position. This is looking great for you and for day 2 also.
Then you look at OVNEsport in 5th place. In that game alone, they scored 29 points and they're on 34. So that's the difference maker that we're talking with these teams starting to claw their way back. And I have a feeling that we're going to see it come out again. Yeah, okay, we might see 1 to 2 teams at the top of the standings getting a decent result, but I really have a feeling that other than maybe, well, actually, yeah, Red Reserve, they're in 8th place. This is their favorite map. I expect a good result from them, but I'm also going to expect a much better result from the likes of AK-47, Cream, Esports, Hate, you know, next.
I mean, the top teams, yeah.
Into this last game.
We want the top teams to have, like, a top game. This is why we call them the top teams. They're supposed to be up there, and I want to see at least one of them secure chicken dinner, so we're not too wrong in our, you know, speculation in Imperium. Otherwise, I will feel a little bit bad. But anyways, let's go. Of course, we'll be moving into this game on good old fancy Vikendi. It's cold outside, so that is also an extra reason as to why you should stay inside nice and warm with your loved ones. Don't move out. It is a time of need, so I hope you guys are being safe and you are all being nice and healthy.
Yeah, of course, it's important in this time that you do your absolute best to essentially, you know, look after yourself and, hey, look, enjoy the chicken dinner at home, you know, like with your family, with your friends. And actually, I know this is kind of off topic, but still actually not off topic. I was playing some games with a friend of mine called Binary, a super cool guy from Canada, and he was in the lobby with 2 of his friends, one called Mr. and the other called Mrs. And they're a couple and playing PUBG Mobile together, and that to me was one of the most wholesome and kind of sweetest things I've seen in PUBG Mobile, where you've, like, you know, husband and wife staying inside together in this time, enjoying games of PUBG Mobile and having fun along the way. It's really kick-ass.
Oh, that's super cute. Like, Imperium, do you want to be the color caster to my play-by-play casting? There you go. We call our stuff like that.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Aww.
Oh my god. Guys, it's official. But Vikendi, there you go. Going to be a nice cross-section from the northwest to the southeast. Going to be a pretty good plane. Well, pretty good plane. A really good plane for most of these teams.
Of course.
There we go.
Podvosto will be occupied by Red Reserve. We're going to see Elevate look to shift down south. Like I said, in the group stage and semi-finals, we did see quite a good few teams go down towards the south side between Volnova, Hot Springs, Winery, and Abbey. I don't know if we'll see similar with these finals teams, but I do expect with Vikendi being heavily compound occupied that we will see teams. I'm honestly yeah, I know that phase on circle.
We had that already.
That stopped me in my tracks, and that is going to cause quite a few hardships for the teams that are up in the north to the northeast.
I mean, the first game was an absolutely messy circle. The last game of the day is going to be also a messy circle. You know what? You got the front page. You got to close up the chapter. Eventually, it was another bad circle. So, Hate Gaming, they understood that. They saw it. They usually always aim for the coastal line on the west. Now, why not just hold on to it? I mean, if you go a little bit more central, I would recommend them to just like loot up in their compound next to Movatra and then rotate a little bit further down south, just so your rotation on phase 2 is a lot easier. But now a lot of teams are going to have to make that rotation pretty early, and some gatekeeping could even happen towards the area of PedjaDBoys, where they're very close to Elevate.
Yeah, 100%. That is going to definitely be the case up, and that's why I said it's going to be dangerous for the teams up on the north and the northeast side of the map. The difference between this map and the previous, the semi-finals map, is that it was a lot more central, and then it shifted down south. It was we are starting a lot more heavily down on the southwest of this game. I expect, like I said, a good game from the likes of Red Reserve.
A good game we are hoping for indeed. Same for Elevate. We want to see a good game from them. So a lot of the teams, this is going to be their redeeming game. I'm hoping they'll be able to just play this one very by the book. Might be a little bit slower than usually like to play it, but at the end of the day, you're playing for a tournament which has a $5 million total cash prize. And you've got to show some amount of respect when you're going in these games and not go just absolutely ham. You've got to try and aim for positioning, be smart of your position overall. Otherwise, you deserve to get taken down in a sense.
Yeah, no, you are dead right. Like, you got to be intelligent with your plays and with your rotations and how you move throughout this game. And that's where mentality plays a big part in these games, right? That's where keeping yourself focused and not letting the pressure get to you will overall help your end result.
The real deal. No, they've been having some good performances. I think you can say that today. They have to just continue through it just a little bit more while Elevate. They just don't want to get really involved with PedjaDBoys. That was a risky just car switch in the open with that crossroad section. Then the team was located there. But lucky enough, PedjaDBoys will not be able to take that shot. And Zuki will be there to clap straight back in their faces. And that should be a flush. Flush it out.
That return fire by Elevate.
Big slap.
God damn it. That's a big boy slap in the face for PedjaDBoys
okay.
By Elevate. That's going to be the first kill of the game for the guys from Elevate.
Okay. We'll be seeing how that one will be coming through. PedjaDBoys, you know, that car skin reminds me of your Unicorns of Love, which will be, by the way, in the EU regional finals. So we'll be seeing them come out. Whoa, what we're not going to be seeing me come out alive of this is Team Dope. Eliminated by MVP Gaming. I mean, lost all those members there.
No.
They got lost all the members. Sorry, not eliminated. They got flushed. There you go. That's the word I wanted to use. My bad.
It's like, whoa. Correct.
I thought I was going to see a 15 on the top left. It was 16. It was like, what? Backtrack.
Oh, man. But good stuff by MVP. Really, like, MVP, another team that have low-key continue to grow, evolve, and improve themselves throughout the group stage and in semi-finals, of course, heading into these finals.
Oh, those shots, if you hit them hard, I'll be genuinely like, you'll be my daddy after that, especially with the Uzi. Like, I would love that.
I was your daddy.
You can have two daddies. It's 2020. I don't know what I have to.
Oh, I like it. Nice response. Indeed. Yeah, no, I can't get over that. That's, yeah, that's clean.
That's a 2020 response. There you go. No, that was too much. Okay, I guess that was too much. My bad. Okay, let's get back together. Let's shift over to the gameplay, Imperium. Okay.
UDRKILLERS going for the high ground. The good thing about this position is that there's a lot of trees around, so that if you have to disengage away from that location, you can go in between the trees, plus they have vehicles on their side. But PedjaDBoys and Elevate rotating in very similar directions.
Well, PedjaDBoys are not going to stop here. I mean, they knew that Elevate stopped first, so they're like, okay, we'll just continue on our path. There are surely going to be some more compounds. Well, how did that happen to be? Okay, well, Team Warlords and MVP Gaming, they're going to be mixing up. Well, Necron's going to be the only surviving member. And pulling off the res on Militia, that's going to be ending up normally in 2 flushes, so they're 2 extra kills, so that'll be up to 4. Which is a great start for MVP, I got to say.
Yeah, I think Warlords had initially called out MVP, but MVP have clapped back pretty well as Dal goes a little bit aggressively out in the open. However, there is a little bit of a third party from an angle, I believe, from another team.
This is very aggressive by Dale. I would never pull that out in like 1,000 years. But he has the confidence, he has the skill, he has the aim to do it. So he's going to do just that. He sees the feet. Going to try and tickle him, but he can't quite hit him just yet. Tickle, tickle.
Instead of... oh my god,
that's a big tickle.
of MVP indeed. As Warlords do survive, but like I said, the third party from AK-47 could stop Warlords in their tracks.
Yeah, at least that's one res on Backfire that will be coming out while Throne. Ooh, that's a lot of members of Throne exploding there. I want to check out.
That's all Throne.
Throne not eliminated and MVP. Wait, no. Yeah, Throne and MVP are out to be confirmed. Damn. I mean, I guess Throne had too many cart rotation because I saw a lot of explosions happening there. Does seem like that was the case. Bad.
Well, look, Throne are in last, 5 points, come out last in this game. Yeah, it is what it is, and I'm a little bit kind of they look good in semis. They had finished pretty well in the standings.
They made a good comeback at the end. That's for sure. And they did die out like first to Red Reserve on Sanhok. Like that's 2 bad games in a row. Die now in like almost first, like right away. They're definitely gonna have to shift the gears. Like tomorrow, you know, it's still like 50% done. There's still a slim chance of you making it come back. But like tomorrow, they have to be flawless games for Throne. They have no room for mistakes. One more bad game and it's game over.
Yeah, like I said, the teams can get like 1
to 2, like kinda. 1.5. 1.5
bad game, but 1.5. Yeah, no, fair enough.
Just even ground, okay.
Either way, it kind of all depends on what good results you get in between that, right? And that's where it kind of shifts between the 1 and 2 bad games.
Yeah, just really hoping they can have some influence. They showed some really good potential throughout these games. Well, oh, Cream, that's a risky one. And you see the Reeves, he heard the gunshot, he's just trying to go left, right, dance between the bullets. He makes it through. The Irish god known as Reeves will be able to make it alive. They did lose Kalamos though, unfortunately, early on. Not too sure how that happened. I guess the engagement with Throne...
Could have been, the engagement with Throne was the reason, I believe, why Kalamos went out early on. But I think Vikendi, you know, a little bit similar to Sanhok, is the kind of game where you can still get a decent result as a 3-man team, or at least get get up there in the top 5, even top 3. And look, we've seen Cream in the past, even as 1-man team, get in the top 3 and get kills along the way. So I've no doubt Cream won't be too affected by Kalamos going out.
Yeah. I mean, Marliu is the one that, like, as a 1-man army, he shines so brightly. You've got to keep in mind, like, that in mind, definitely. They already got a decent position to play with, playing a little bit more next to the coastline. This is a nice position, setting himself up for, like, nice and easy mid-game rotations. So I do like their rotation here. Once again, the IGL with his Bujo knows exactly what he's doing, and they got valuable positions already under control early on, which is great on Vikendi, because on Vikendi, you want to try and get as little rotations as possible, because it is really risky to rotate in those open lands of Vikendi.
I would agree. It's because Compound's being so, you know, competent in Vikendi that you don't necessarily know that a team is around you unless you really have that information on your side. You see the doors open, you see a car outside those buildings. So yeah, rotating aggressively, it is quite a bit harder on Vikendi. The terrain's smooth, so it's not exactly harsh on the vehicles. It's just that unpredictability on those rotations.
Well, Goskilla, they found a nice compound. That's a warehouse, but Red Reserve in the open, you know you're going to pay the heavy price of death, at least for Sonic. He's not going to make it work any further. Head on the top of the mountain, you've got to retreat back over to Aegon. You've got a free compound to overtake. Pretty big for 2 members, but hopefully they'll make it through. But Cream, of course, they're not going to let that happen.
Red Reserve need to keep their cool. Muriel driving by. Come on! You gotta know! Come on, that's just poor from Red Reserve. You know you can do better than that. Your teammate just got taken out. Why go anywhere near there? Backtrack. Who the hell cares if you're far away from your team? If you don't die, you're still giving yourself a strong chance of surviving.
And that's what we were talking about like just a few minutes ago, right? That even as a 3-man army, you can defend it because compounds are so important in the meta of Vikendi that despite even being 2 members, you can take it out. And they should know that. It's so risky, but yet they send 2 members down the drain.
Just really poor from Muriel. I'm sorry, but just poor reactions.
Tell him off after the game.
Yeah, no, like that's amateur reaction from Muriel at the end of the day. Look, you know what? Red Reserve, they should bounce back. And with guidance from Sonic, hopefully should get themselves a good result in Vikendi after strong positive play in Sanhok.
Warlords?
If they can build it up, that should lead them strong into day 2.
Well, we just lost 2 members of Warlord exploding in a big fat boom of a car. Also, just to keep the viewers informed, I don't think we had a little bit of intel on the phase 2 circle shift, but it did shift also pretty centrally. Got 50% land, 50% water, so the coastline is going to be extremely valuable. A few teams already really well positioned, just like Cream right now. They have a good spot for this mid-game stage. But UDRKILLERS, they're going to have to move down a little bit further away toward Dino Park.
Oh, Dino Park, Dino Park. That is the game that put UDRKILLERS and PedjaDBoy in the semi-finals, if I'm not mistaken. Even LAKONOSTRA. You know, so, man, fun memories for those teams. And they'll want to make it count in this game.
Oh, Cream, you know, at least they don't rotate too close to that compound. So the spray will be pretty hard to hit for Hate Gaming. They get a few bullets through, but it won't result in too much being done. Now that car's fuming, not a valuable option for them anymore. But Hate Gaming, they got the high ground. A few nades could be definitely a really big point of pressure on Peko and Marley, and they're going to try and chuck a bit of that utility over there. But Na'Vi, ooh, they really want to commit to this, apparently.
It's still risky.
It is risky.
They don't know who it is. They don't really know who it is. So it's something they will have to be aware of as Neymar drives in, gets him knocked down and they confirm onto Pico. And now it is just Marley left on his own. Neymar looking to flank around, wait it out, wait for his teammate. Now push in as a 2 against 1.
I'm pretty sure that Hate Gaming know that was 2 members. So if they know they got the man advantage, they can try and like spread out with 1-1 on both sides and get the kill. But are they going to commit too aggressively there? I'm not too sure. They got a good position. They can just hold at least Marley to stop pushing upon them, and that will be fine. But they really seem like they want to commit to this one.
One thing, I don't like the fact that they're using all that utility.
Yeah, they're using too much.
Molotovs can make a big difference. I feel like they just got to go in, go hard, take control, get that kill. Don't waste your Molotovs or your grenades at this point of the game.
Because pushing compounds are so hard, and you're definitely going to rely on that utility being up your sleeves. And if they waste it so early, I mean, they may be also hoping like taking it away from the dead bodies of like the 2 members of Cream, which could work, and it's a little bit like morbid. Now I said it that way, but they can try and do that. So still, they've got to try and like keep a hold of their utility and like count it down. But they are being very. It's weird. It's like a shift of like aggressive and also passive at the same time.
Okay, at least they're sending another member of a 3rd member there just to, you know, absolutely confirm it. And now if they aggress, cool. Happy days.
Oh, he's going to go for the aggressive play. Marley, can he make it work out? He gets the first initial knockdown. But unfortunately, it's just too much to deal with, and he's going to get flushed out. That's the 2nd kill so far for Hate Gaming. They'll be moving a little bit forward. They got still the coastal line under control. So this is great for Hate Gaming, getting kills and a good position. A win-win.
Now we're Reserve on the edge of the circle. Down the southeast side. They've got the real deal in front of them, but it's only 2 members of Red Reserve left up. You could say the 2 strongest players. Nothing against the rest of the team, but Agon and Ked, we know how heavily they can frag out given the opportunity as OVN are facing pressure from Goskilla.
I mean, Agon is so good. We got a few of his moves like in the top 10 montage of the group stage, so of course that does mean something. So, no, of course, this is going to be a little bit harsh for Whitey to pull on through. At least he's not going to be with the rest of his team. So, if he does die, he's going to die alone, which is pretty sad, I do know. But at least...
That's a risk. That's a risk.
That's a harsh move. He's got the smoke, but these kind of vehicles, that jet ski is so slow to start up. You should have just waited there, really, and wait potentially for OVN to leave because they're on the edge of the circle.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk to you again. That's why he goes out. Like, that was just, oh God, like, yeah, just, hey, look, you know what? Goskilla will still survive as a 3-man team, hanging around Dino Park.
Yep, Dino Park, where the game ended on Vikendi yesterday. It was won by none other than, if I'm not mistaken, it was actually won by Goskilla.
It was Red Reserve. No,
wait.
Red Reserve.
Oh no, I was on the wrong page. There you go. Red Reserve. My apologies for that. I mean, did they get a game? The game before that actually was Goskilla. Yeah. But, you know, I'm just trying to prove my point to show that I'm not an idiot, but it's fine. But it was taken indeed by Red Reserve. So we'll be seeing how that can come on through. But at least they still have, like, they are used to this kind of circle because they played around it yesterday. Yeah. And they know how to deal with it a little bit better this time around.
Just to flex my memory, the game that Goskilla won was up outside Mount Kresnik when the circle, I think on phase 8, went in their favor and they were able to take down.
Oh yeah, that was insane.
They were able to take down GSMC, Red Reserve, and Hate Gaming. Just like, because normally you're like, you know, so good at remembering those kind of games, or remembering games in general. Normally I'm a potato with that, so it was nice to be able to remember.
No, I'll give you that. Imperium is very rare where you can actually flex something, so it's fine. I'll give that one to you.
Thank you. Wow, that was like a backhanded compliment.
Yeah,
you know?
that was like,
you look nice today, you know.
I actually have someone that tells me that all the time. I'm like, well, just today, okay, damn, that makes me pretty sad. That's fine. Okay. Gee, Belieber with no mug.
Oh, you just have to say yeah. That's all.
Maybe.
Okay, that's cool. I'll take that as a yes. Anyway, UDRKILLERS, PedjaDBoy holding off as we're going to see the blue zone of phase 3 closing in. I think that all of the teams are just kind of resting, holding out, waiting for that circle shift to come through. We have lost 2 teams already, down to 14 with 42 players. The rules of the houses are key in getting that high ground, getting that information on the teams around you.
Of course, like, rooftops are extremely meta on Vikendi. They're so easy to get access to, and while BGG, just keep swimming, for you Nemo fans out there, but just going to be taking it a toll in the water.
I didn't know that song.
You don't, from Nemo. It's from Nemo.
I've seen a film, I've seen film, but I just don't remember that song.
Yeah, she's like, is that like the bluefish? I don't remember her name. Where she's like, just keep swimming, just swimming. No?
Like, honestly, like, you know, you haven't even seen the Karate Kid, so, like...
Oh, you know what? I'll watch it, okay? I promise you, I will watch it soon.
All I'll say is wax on, wax off. That's it. Like, if you were to ever learn about the mental strength of holding on in a competitive setting, it can be through the Karate Kid. And I'm not actually even joking with that, to be honest. It does teach a lot in that sense, so... You know, I'd recommend it.
Karate Kid Esports confirmed.
Oh, Jesus.
Thank you, Imperium. Wow, little leaks coming from here. But yeah, most of the time, we're going to be seeing the phase 4 circle closing up. We're still about like 30% water getting involved, so the chances are at this stage of the game is going to be shifting away from the water. So BGD, the last member of Team Dope, is going to have to keep that in mind. What we're seeing is that so far all the compounds are pretty much shared. I'm not seeing too much action really breaking out, and it shouldn't happen for the next upcoming seconds, at least until phase 5 has been revealed.
It's nice to see Elevate continuing on in this game, full squad still up. You know, kind of staying on the nice southeast side of the circle. It's high ground. You do have the Real Deal and Red Reserve closest by. That's the vehicle where Muriel lost his life. So that will alert Elevate that action did happen in that area.
Playing the edge is a high risk, high reward. Like, you don't get scouted out, but if you got a team that's got a compound next to that, they're going to shut you down. Well, talking about compounds, one is getting shared between AK-47 and OVNEsport. OVNEsport, not forget, Chicken Dinner last game on Sanhok, and Vikendi is another type of map on which they are extremely comfortable. They've shown some really good potential on it. I want to see if they can get their Chicken Dinner on this one and get a back-to-back win. In the finals, that'll be a huge statement.
Even though compounds are, and here's the thing, the circle has once again gone down away. And I'm all for being in compounds, right, on Vikendi, but you don't want to be in a city. You don't. Yeah. Because disengaging away from the city like that is going to be hard. And look at this, it's shifted down south. OVN, AK-47, LAKONOSTRA, and even Cream are going to have a tough job finding a comfortable spot. For Cream, they can stay on the coastline, but once again, they're going to be hate. But they're going to be pressured by Hate Gaming.
I mean, Reeves is the last member standing right now of Cream, so that is going to be even harder for him to pull off. Hopefully, he can just avoid getting detected by the likes of LAKONOSTRA. But the real deal, they're getting a little bit engaged by Next currently, and they're going to try and share it. He said that like sharing compounds can be pretty hard too. But Daddy getting smoked up. Hopefully, we'll be able to walk his way through, but Andy is not going to allow that to happen as he gets sent over to the other side of the world.
Maxwell, and you've got UDRKILLERS up on the high ground. Potentially third party as Azzy gonna burn a little bit on the edge. Does just about avoid. And UDRKILLERS are holding off. They're waiting, seeing if they can spot a body, anybody, or hopefully everybody of those two teams.
I gotta say, that first nade from the real deal was so damn close. I'm surprised it did not make it through in that window. Now another one. Trying to connect it. Very on the edge. It will not work out. So Top Sonny no better off not giving it away. But I think that now Next have the information on currently UDRKILLERS being located on the top of that cliff. So they've got to be careful. Their rotation could get denied if Circle is not in their favor. Because now they break out that door. Of course, that is how you do it. Yeah, you always do that.
Yeah. You know, you want to take away that tiny bit of protection as PedjaDBoy and Elevate. They've got one kill so far. Can they make it a second kill? Then can they take out PedjaDBoy? But you've got the real deal from down in that compound, and that's what you talked about, Max. Having the compound can be such an advantage because you can look around you while still being protected.
It makes up for having the low ground section, so that is what these teams are playing for. Class has the high ground on that fight. So I'm interested to see if that can indeed go in their favor. They lost a few members already, while Zuku is going to get confirmed out by Herbs of PedjaDBoys. Not looking too good, but Pokers went down. They have a nice flanking position. Herbs is going to be taken down by the MP5K of Pokers, and now they've got to focalize it all down on Mamula. But I saw what Mamula could do, and he can absolutely pop off as he takes down Class, and it's turned into a 1v1 of Mamula versus Pokers.
Mamula, Pokers in, comes down, and Pokers takes down PedjaDBoys. That's gonna be the end, and Elevate will survive as a two-man team, should I say, with 3 kills in their pocket. 13 teams left, 35 players, but they still got to get through the real deal down in that compound.
Oh, the last member of the BGD just really trying to avoid detection. That shack is actually a pretty good chance for him to make it a little bit further in, but he could actually get a nice backstab on Hunter. LAKONOSTRA doesn't have the information, and the blue zone is not going good, but Hate Gaming, they're all surrounded. Navi got knocked out, chucking some utility. They know exactly where Alicia is currently located. Red X, where's that org? He's moving upon MZ, trying to get himself a nice push. Can this one work out?
MZ, the French nugget for his side. Can he do what he can? But now his Next engage aggressively onto the real deal. Buju backs off. And then Licio gets knocked down at the hands of MZ. Red X, can he hold on? Jumps up and down, but the members of Hate drive through and gets a squad wipe onto LAKONOSTRA.
I don't understand why he tried to jump in the open and spray. Like, you want to try and stay steady. I think that was not really worth it, but now Next, they're going for it. They want that building from the real deal. Otherwise, they know they're going to get backstab on that area. Next, down to top 2. That's going to be Topson and Slobos, and they get absolutely battered by none other than Azzy with the red dot Uzi. I said it. That's a Pogger's weapon.
Azzy, you're so good. I can't rhyme, but you sure can frag out.
And can be good.
UDRKILLERS. Oh, nice one.
Hey.
UDRKILLERS, they've got AK-47 around them. They're in the center of the circle, but you've also got OVN climbing through. And now as they get into the circle after taking down LAKONOSTRA.
UDRKILLERS still has 4 members. On the top of this mountain, could be looking really good. This is like the Mount Kresnik of the West. You got to keep that in mind. It plays pretty similarly, and I think these teams are pretty used to it. Seeing so many circles did end up in Mount Kresnik, so you just got to apply that gameplay to this phase, and you should be a-okay if you know how to shift on it. A lot of teams here getting so close to each another. If phase 7 is harsh Imperium and it goes down the mountain, this is going to mess up these 5 teams.
True, but there's a lot of space down south, which is really helping that remaining player from Red Reserve. Actually, I think the remaining 2 players, I'm not sure if Agan went down, but Ked is still going. That could definitely help him. He can hold out as all the teams up in the north are hurting each other. Reese goes down. That's the end of Cream in Vikendi. That's going to be a bad end of the day for the top team.
Cream getting 2 top 5s today, 1 3rd position and 1 5th position. Not too sure that's going to be enough to aim for top 4, at least on day 1. So tomorrow, they're going to need the performance of a lifetime if they want to have the slimmest of chances of making it over to the regional finals. Great spray coming out from Burian. He's going to get the first initial knockdown on the UDRKILLERS, still as a 4-man squad. But Sandro has a split angle. He has the information. Some utility will be chucked. And
look at that circle shift. It's shifted down south. There's only 2 teams that are barely inside the circle. So all the teams up in the northwest are going to have to push their way through. Hey, they're looking confident. They're looking strong. They're surrounding the members of UDRKILLERS. But do they know where all the players are? As Mark knocks down Neymar with the Uzi right off.
Yep, and he's making it worthwhile. He's going to cook it up. He wants his meat nice and cooked, but Navi going to be slowly bleeding out. Why are you staying in that? I mean, he stayed in it. There you go. That is in some way deserved. So Hate Gaming, they get eliminated in 8th position. And now creating a lot more room on this mountaintop. The land teams to potentially rotate down south, but they're going to get gatekeeped by AK-47 Romania.
UDRKILLERS drawn 5 kills so far. They're 2nd place in the overall standings. Equal points to the real deal. Can they end the day? The first day of the finals. On top as AK-47 look to try to stop them in their tracks. But the first knockdown on the Dexter is not going to help their cause.
Now the clock is ticking. Imperium, they got to move on forward. While Ked, ooh, last man standing.
Oh no!
That nade looks pretty good. He's full stun.
It's gonna be too much. He got the knockdown, but at the end of the day, the Kobe did the job. That's the end of Red Reserve. In 7th, 6 teams left, 14 players.
That nade was just too good for Ked. He couldn't deal with the pressure. Now most teams found themselves a decent position. While UDRKILLERS is still getting gatekeeped by AK-47, something that I didn't mention. They're holding it pretty good. But UDRKILLERS, they spread pretty thinly. They're trying to find a nice position. If they lose 1, 2, at least they'll be able to have a few to have a good angle to pressure AK-47 on this position.
But you do have Goskilla coming in from the north. They're spreading themselves out a little bit. That could make a difference. But OVN still doing what they can. As Dexter gets a knockdown on the UDR. And now Sandro climbs in. He's put down the low health. He sprays with the clip. Is that going to be enough? He's holding out behind the wall. Ooh. But Dexter drives through. What an engagement. But now the remaining players are UDRKILLERS. They want to clean up. They want to drive out. Both Sands gets a knockdown on the Nano from behind.
Mark, how are you doing this? Oh my god, he's put so low B. Will get finally flushed out by Dexter. That was such a close call. But unfortunately, there's going to be another team joining the party. And of course, that's going to be none other than Goskilla. Savage X is going to get the initial knockdown on Dexter. You're going to have to res back up. But then you have 20 more seconds to do so. And then it's going to be game over, my friend.
Goskilla right inside the circle. We saw the game that they won in Vikendi 2 days ago. They were gifted the circle. In Vikendi again, it's gone in their favor. Right now in the overall standings, they are in 3rd place. We've talked about how they've been consistent today. They've come out of the gate ramping things up. If they can finish today with a chicken dinner, they will confidently find themselves out on top. However, they've got to consider the fact that they do have OVN, who's doing pretty good. They've got the real deal still inside this, but Albi gets a knockdown.
There's so many teams, but they're able to take care of them. There were 4 teams, now down to 3. It's going to make it a lot easier for them. While Victor, the last member of the is going to be bleeding out to the blue zone. Able to make it through, but maybe you want to deny that kill away. I think this is too aggressive, and that's going to be an extra frag over to none other than Goskilla. Up to now 7 Imperium, but the real deal, they're still in play, and just the same for Team Warlords.
You got 3v1v1. Warlords doing a great job. Sans takes down Hazi. Now comes down to the top 2, but inside the blue zone, it's just too much. And Goskilla claim the chicken dinner on the last game of the day. What a finish.
I mean, Goskilla, they were already in top 4 in the standings before this game, and now they added a chicken dinner on top of that. That's the cherry on top of the cake, Imperium, I do have to say. And they get also 8 kills with that one. This is like the best performance. I think Wizardfield, the top teams so far, we saw on this first day of the finals. This is exactly what they need. And we mentioned it.
Oh, yeah.
The underdog teams, they're pulling off some good performances. And this is perfect.
Very happy with Warlords. Second place, 7 kills. They were on 5 points only. Max, that's going to be 21 points. That's going to jump them up probably just about into maybe the top 10. But either way, it's a great end of the day for themselves. And then the real deal, staying consistent in third place. I think that will just about keep them in the top spot at the end of day one.
I think this is definitely going to help. Also, like, they got 8 kills on top of that, so it does really make up for their performances. Then you got, of course, there's going to be OVNEsport in 4th position. Then you get 1 kill, so still, they're up there. They're in a position where they're being consistent compared to all the top teams we mentioned at the start of the broadcast. And the AK-47, one, if not their best performance yet, they actually taken here 5th position with 5 kills for Dexter.
And Red Reserve, look, they made the best of a bad situation going out in 8th, but I question, compare also similar to Miramar. I don't know how many, if any, kills they did get in that game, and that's definitely going to hurt them in the overall standings. I'm currently lying 8th overall after 3 games, and honestly, we're seeing such a reversal of teams doing good and teams doing bad in the finals.
I mean, it was kind of happening like that in, I guess, the semi-finals. Like, yeah, some teams are like started spiking up, just like OVN, and now it's like really truly reversed itself. Like, this is a complete 180 compared to what we saw in the group stage and the semi-finals, and now in the finals. And this is like under pressure. That is when you play your best. And some of these teams, I mean, they just pulled their trick out of their hat. And they just surprised not only us to Imperium, but also, I guess, the entirety of Europe, which is like, what the hell is happening? Where's our top teams?
Man, it's mental. UDRKILLERS, hey, look, 6th place, 5 kills. It's not, it's not obviously top 3. It's not a super strong result, but it's going to do enough to, in my opinion, keep them in the top 4. And if not in the top 4, damn close. I am a little bit sad that we didn't see a strong performance from, let's say, Cream Red Reserve next MVP, because that would have put the overall standings a lot closer. But man, at the end of the day, the teams that are up there deserve to be up there in the first day of the finals.
Just checking out some stuff. I have a little bit of information from our production crew of ESL that we have the current points updated. So I recommend is we take a little quick snippet of seeing which teams are in the top 4 and which teams are going to have to fight it out and try and claw their way back in that top 4 position. But Imperium, let's see where we are. Goskilla, 1st position, followed up by The Real Deal, UDRKILLERS, and OVNEsport. None of our top 4 teams we speculated are in that position at the 50% mark of the finals. This is huge.
It's pretty huge indeed. And at the end of the day, it's the key thing to point out is the top 4 are all the teams who've gotten a chicken dinner in today's games. And what's pretty important is that they have followed those up with overall decent results in the end. It's still pretty close in the overall standings. Like when you look at 10th place to 5th place, that's only 10 points. That's
1 game.
Like, that's nothing. That's half a game, to be honest. It's definitely worrisome for the likes of Red Reserve next and Cream, who are 3 teams that we kind of, easily kind of ramped up to be up there. Again, I'm not surprised that The Real Deal are in 2nd and OVN are in 4th overall, because they're 2 teams that I said would be, on the upper echelons of the top 4, but they're definitely sitting a lot prettier than I expected.
I mean, this is still in arm's reach for most of these squads, right? They can still make it through. They just gotta, I'm gonna say like the very cheesy thing, but you gotta believe in yourself and you can make it happen, I'm pretty sure. But like every single team that's in the top 4, they got a chicken dinner, which shows that on such a short period of time, was only 8 games, 1 chicken dinner might be the difference between you getting qualified for the regional finals and you actually get taken out.
It's needed. It's absolutely needed. Like, I need Cream, Next, and Red Reserve to come in tomorrow with their heads out of their asses, the right mentality, the right attitude, and get the job done. Because I want to see those standings to be super close. I want to see it come down to the absolute last game like we saw in the groups and the semis. And I know that when it comes to the regional finals, all these teams deserve to get there. And all the teams have fought so hard to get to this point. It's all about just that moment, that right situation coming in your favor.
With the right situation, hoping it's going to be coming out for a few of these players tomorrow. Of course, tomorrow we'll be having a set of 4 more games, exactly the same. In order will be Erangel, followed up with Miramar, then Sanhok, then closing it all with the Vikendi to not close up also day 2, but the entirety of the finals, and we'll be known which teams right then and there which will move in over, not only to the regional finals, but also having that extra 1 slot, that extra little passage over to the World League West, which I just can't wait to see which team will be representing Europe in those segments. It's going to be extra hype. Imperium, I just can't wait.
Of course, tomorrow's games do start an hour later. That's something to note. It kicks off at 9 p.m. CEST, if I'm not mistaken. CET, sorry.
Oh, no, CEST because it's changing. No,
yeah,
CEST.
It is summertime, yeah. 9 p.m. CEST. And that is 8 p.m. BST, so I'm really looking forward to it. It's an extra hour for teams to prepare, possibly. It's an extra hour for teams to kind of get into sleep, get in the right frame of mind. And, oh man, I'm so excited, you know. God damn it, I just can't wait.
Well, unfortunately, we're going to have to wait a little bit, but it's fine. My pen, I just dropped my pen. That's fine. It's goodbye. We'll be going now for the day. Thank you so much for watching today's broadcast. It was an absolute pleasure and honor to bring you the action you all know and love. As always, I do have to say before we close up the broadcast, please, people, stay safe, stay at home, and just watch PUBG Mobile. Just watch me and Imperium, just cracking some really bad dad jokes. It's fine. It's way better than going outside at this stage. So yeah, guys, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow for day 2 and the last day of not only the finals, but also of the entirety of PMCO Spring Split for the European region. See you tomorrow. Be there, be square. Once again, 9 p.m. CEST, or it's going to be also 8 p.m. GMT. See you there. Bye-bye.